Hey y'all, good morning. We're right here at sunrise, although you're gonna have to take my word for it because it's cloudy today and we ain't gonna see no sun. But what you can see is this creek I'm in. This is a very shallow backwater creek with grass all up along the sides of the bank here. And yesterday I fished out here. It would have been my last video for regular viewers. And there was all kinds of carp spawning activity going on. And there was a bunch of catfish in here. I guess just feeding on the carp and the carp eggs and whatnot. So I come back out here today hoping to see more carp spawning, maybe even more fish in here. But you look around and there is zero carp spawning activity going on, nothing. So I guess yesterday we were probably at the very tail end of the carp spawn. But I have been some splashes as I was coming up through here to get set up, and it looked like catfish tails a couple times. Like there were some bigger splashes. So I'm hoping the cats are still in here to maybe feed on some of those carp eggs and stuff that have gotten left in the grass as they've done their things. So this morning, we're gonna have a combo trip. We're gonna go after both. I've brought some shad that I got yesterday on my way back to the car. I threw the net, got us some shad to use for catfish bait today. I've also got some more pack bait and some worms we're going to throw out for carp. So we're going to do a combo trip. We're going after catfish and carp today, and hopefully going to get a mixture of both and have a little fun with this. So you can see this is the shad I got. We got one real big gizzard in there and some smaller thread fins. Most of what I saw flipping in here yesterday and what I'm seeing out here, there's a few flips in this area right now. It looks like thread fins, so I think that's probably what we're going to start with, is just put on, take one of these shad here that's maybe, I don't know, 4 inches, 5 inches, cut it in half, and throw that out there. Then we'll throw the pack bait and worms on a method feeder setup and try to get us some carp that are hopefully, there should still be some carp around. The carp spawn, it doesn't last long, and this year it was way later than it normally is, I guess due to our water level. But when I saw those fish yesterday, I was like, we're either at the beginning of it or the tail end of it. And it looked like we were at the tail end since there ain't no activity going on today. But here is our first catfish bait. Shad head on a little 3/0 size catfish sumo hook. We've got a leader there, 15-pound fluoro swivel egg sinker, 15-pound braid, and this is a Catfish Sumo light tackle rod. And I'm just going to take this one and just kind of toss it over here in the middle. I'm just going to lighten my drag up a little bit there too. That's about 2 foot, 3 foot deep at the most, right here in the very center of this creek. So very shallow water today. We're going to have some pretty incredible runs when fish hit. So now we're going to take one of our carp rod setups. This is a Carp Sumo rod, the chopstick, Daiwa BG 4000 size reel. I've got, this is 30-pound braid, I believe, on this one. I've had this on here forever. Whenever I replace this line again, I'm going to go much smaller line. But that comes down to a method feeder. These are just the cheap Amazon deals. You can get them a variety of places online, but just wire and coil that we're going to mash our pack bait around, which I'll show you here in a minute. That then goes down to a little number 6 size hook with a couple pieces of plastic corn on there on a hair rig. And we're also going to add a worm to this rig as well. We're going to put that directly on the hook. So let me show you the pack bait mixture. This is what I typically use when I'm carp fishing because it's easy to make, it's cheap, and it works very well. But that is a combination of panko, golden sweet corn, cream style corn, and strawberry jello. And you just mix it all up. It makes this doughy like mixture here. This then gets packed on to the method feeder. And once you cast it out into the water, it will sit there and kind of slowly just fall off that feeder, creating a chum pile. The carp and probably some catfish today too, because I caught more catfish yesterday than I did carp. on this setup. They'll come in there, feed on the chum pile, and then they'll either suck up this corn along with the real corn and get the hook, or they'll eat the worm, which we're about to put on here. I'm going to take these, this is night crawlers. I'm just going to take and cut one in half right there, and we'll throw it on the hook a couple times. And so we got options for them. Easy peasy setup right there. I'm going to cast this kind of further on down to the left there a little bit. And then I've got 2 other rods with me. And I think to start with, I would like to put on a second carp rod. But if we end up catching just exclusively, here's the thing, folks. I want to catch some fish today, as many as possible, right? If we throw out the shad, the catfish is all we're going to catch. If we throw out the carp rigs, we might catch some carp, we might get a buffalo if there happens to be one in here. We could also get catfish on this. This gives us the best option for the most number of fish. So I think, because this creek is so small, it's hard to fish 2 rods, honestly, in a creek this small, but to fish 3, we might have a tangle or 2. But what I'm going to do is take this 3rd rod and cast it behind us over here, kind of toward the opposite shoreline, and we'll see what we can get going with it. And if it turns out that we're just catching catfish almost exclusively in here today, well, then we can always switch over and bust out the other catfish rod and put on more shad. We'll just let the fish tell us what they want and kind of let them tell us what's going on in here today, because I don't know how it's going to turn out today, since we're not seeing any carp spawning activity. Okay, so we're going to throw this one kind of over there behind us, kind of along that shoreline there. And we will just set it back here in the back rod holder. All right, let me get my hands cleaned off here. And what I think I'm gonna do, y'all, is just leave the camera rolling again. I've done that yesterday, last video there. Because I'm gonna fish for 3 or 4 hours this morning. We'll just leave it rolling, let you all see everything from right now when we're getting baited up and casting out to whatever shenanigans happen until we leave here today. And hopefully catch us a bunch of fish. I was kind of surprised yesterday for 2 things. One, I was surprised to see the carp spawning, because it's just way later than what I've normally seen them in years past. And we had a warm spring, like we warmed up here much quicker. Water temperatures got warmer faster this year. So I would have thought that would have been an earlier spawn. But in reality, what happened? We were already getting this one hit, our shad. Something was popping. Let me just leave the camera here in the chest. I thought we would have had an earlier spawn, but I never saw them anywhere. I never saw them spawning at all. I never saw any activity. So I thought, well, I've just missed it. So coming out yesterday and seeing carp beating the banks and doing their thing, it was really a surprise. But even though there were quite a few carp doing their thing, it's not as many carp as I have seen in this particular area in years past. So that's where I was kind of questioning in yesterday's video. I was like, is this just the first group? Because when I've seen carp, when I've been on the water while it's happening, how it usually goes is you get a few fish come in, they'll be spawning, doing their thing. Then like the big group of them, like the big wave will come in, and then there'll just be a gazillion fish everywhere. And then you'll get kind of the stragglers, the ones that were a little bit late doing their thing, and then they're just gone. And it's a very short window. Like, I mean, you're talking just a few days that this lasts, and then it's over. So you know, yesterday was my first day on the water in a week because we had had a bunch of rain. It's been a weird year here. We went the first few months of the year, it barely rained at all. I mean, we were in a big drought here in East Tennessee. And then for the last week, it's rained literally every day. Even yesterday, we didn't get rained on the fishing trip, but as soon as I got home, the skies opened up and we had a downpour. So, I mean, it's just been constant rain. So, it's been a weird year all the way around. But yesterday it was just one of them situations. I looked at how many fish were here and I was like, okay, we're either at the beginning or the end. And clearly seeing what's happening out here today, which is nothing, we were at the end. But what I'm hoping is, at least this morning, is that we will still have some catfish in here. The catfish, I don't know how many we ended up catching yesterday, but it was way more than, I think we got 3 or 4 carp, but way more catfish, blue cats. So I'm wanting to see, can we still bust some of those? Because when them carp, they get up here in the grass, and the female's dropping the eggs. You'll see all these males swimming beside her, you know, and they're splashing around with their tails and whatnot. The male's fertilizing the eggs as she's dropping them. Those eggs are then in the grass. And a lot of fish, turtles, etc. is going to come up there and eat those eggs. And I just assume that's what the catfish were in here doing yesterday. They probably know when the carp spawn is happening and it's easy meals for them. And I'm hoping some catfish are still in here, even though a lot of the carp seem to have pulled out. And there could still very well be some carp in here as well. I mean, usually once the spawn is over, usually there's a healthy population of carp that remain in the shallows for the rest of the warm months, the rest of spring, summer, fall, all the way up until it gets super cold. So we're going to see what happens today. We'll either catch them or we won't. Now, the good news is, if you're seeing this video, we got something. We're not posting one of these long, unedited videos where we get skunked. But I don't know what we're going to catch. I don't know what combination we're going to catch. I don't know how many we're going to catch. This is one of the beautiful things about fishing, and one of the frustrating things about fishing is that you just don't know what's going to happen day to day, trip to trip. You can come out yesterday and see all kinds of activity happening. Oh, here we go. We're going to catch one right now. No, we ain't. You done lost your first fish, y'all. Get it together here, man. Get your act together right now. Got your sinker up here, tangled up in your line. Get yourselves together here. Wake up, folks. You know what the problem is? You still sleep. It's early. This video is coming out late in the evening because I normally post around 6 o'clock. I don't even know what the hell's happened here. How did you all get all this? That damn fish tied a knot in it, folks. I don't even know how he done it. I still don't know how he done it, to be honest with you. We've been pranked. This is why I shouldn't do unedited videos, folks, because I'm gonna make a fool of myself. 3 minutes into the video, I still don't get it. He literally, somehow this fish has tied a knot in this damn thing. You know, we about to pull out that other rod. I don't get it. I think there's literally a knot in there. Yeah, you know what? Hell with it. By gosh, that's why we got another rod with us. I can't believe that. I don't know what's going on. Miss a fish. We got knots tied in our leaders here around our sinkers. This is insane. One of y'all done sabotaged me. You ought to be feeling bad about yourself. Doing this to me, making a fool of me right here on the damn video. 5 minutes in when there might still be people watching. Heck far. Well, we'll solve that problem though. We'll just get a whole different rod. Same setup. This is what I've been doing the light tackle catfishing with right here. So we're just gonna Hook this bait again. I'll go in the other nostril this time. All right. Well, there is some life in here, folks. All right. Let's set it back over. But as I was saying before that fish so rudely interrupted us, yeah, it's one of the things about fishing, man. It's you can't predict. Day to day, trip to trip, you just don't know what's going to happen. And that mystery of it, that excitement and the anticipation, it makes it fun, but it also is incredibly frustrating. It's like you come out yesterday and you're like, all right, we're on to something here. Carp are spawning, bunch of catfish in here in the shallows. We're going to come back today and we're going to tear them all up, have a blast. And then you come back here today, literally 24 hours later, and I haven't seen the first carp spawning activity anywhere. I mean, nowhere. They're gone. So that's how it goes. But I have to believe there's going to be some cats either still here or working up in here as the morning goes on. Not only for the easy food source for them, but it's time for the catfish to spawn too. So I wouldn't be surprised if some cats are working up in here to this particular creek looking for some spawning grounds, especially now that our water has come up a little bit. And I think the only thing I can figure with the carp spawn being as late as it was this year is just the fact that our water level was down because of the drought. Like, we're still, even right now, like, the normal water level would be up here to this tree line. And so we're still down probably 2 feet from where we should be right now. Well, where we should have been over a month ago. Our water level should have been back to normal, but it's still been down. Now, this rain we've had the last week, I mean, just every day, downpours, has brought it up a lot. It's muddied up the water, of course, here in this creek. But it's helping get us back to where we need to be for normal water levels. But I think maybe the lower levels, oh, our shad got tapped again. I think maybe the lower water levels maybe delayed the spawn, because it sure wasn't water temperatures. Has he got it now? Nope. We got a small one over there messing with it. The cats we got yesterday, it was kind of weird. They were all skinny. Even some fish that I would consider be kind of smaller fun sizers in length, they were all skinny yesterday. And yeah, well, there was a carp over there. I saw him come up and tail. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to catch today. I was talking in yesterday's video that you just have to believe when you had the carp spawn going on, and those carp, man, they're mating, they're distracted, they're tired, they're burning a lot of energy doing their thing. Those are easy meals. Now, granted, they're big fish. I mean, those carp, I mean, they're several pounds each, but for a big flathead, for a big blue, that's a solid meal. So I have to believe some trophy caliber cats have worked up in here as well during that spawn to get them an easy meal. Now, yesterday I didn't have any catfish tackle with me. I'd just come out to do a carp trip. Now, we could have tied on some catfish rigs on the carp rods had I had them. My dumbass. So normally, what I'd been doing is just my camera bag here. I'd keep some extra rigs and stuff kind of in this pocket in my bag, right? That way I've always got them. Well, the other day, because sometimes I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, I took those rigs out of my camera bag. There's these shads that messed with again. But I took them things out and I put them in my Hobie Lynx kayak, because that's where I've been doing all my trips out of. So yesterday I come out and I'm in my Hobie Pro Angler for the first time in a while. And we get in a situation where it's like, I've got my cast net with me because I was going to net some shad at the end of yesterday's trip to go catfishing today. And we've got an opportunity. We had shad flipping. We could have easily got them. And yet, I don't have any damn catfish rigs. So we had to wait till today to bring a catfish setup with us. But, I mean, we still, yesterday, I mean, we've got several cats just on the carp rigs with the worms. Because, I mean, they're up here, they're just feeding. Whatever they come across, man, they're going to gobble it up. So I'm hoping today, since we've got some shad, and I didn't even bring a cooler with me, folks. I netted these yesterday on the way back to the car, threw them in the fridge last night, and so we just gonna, is he got it for real this time? Don't you dare tease me. He's got it. Oh, he's going toward that other line over there too. Tell him not to get in that other line, would you? We've already made a fool of ourselves, first thing. We don't want to, golly bum, we've done it again. You done embarrassed yourself again by losing a fish. You done embarrassed yourself again. You done lost him. Here I was thinking you was going to get him wrapped up in that line, and you done lost the whole fish. You didn't even get to tangle or nothing. You better get it together, folks. I'm telling you, buddy, you in bad shape today. Need to wake your butts up. This is going to get embarrassing for you quick now. We'll just put this other half of that shad on there. Out it goes. Well, the shad's definitely got more attention than either one of the carp rigs so far. Neither one of them have went down yet. I wouldn't be shocked though if we still, even though we're not seeing carp, I mean, I saw that one over their tail a little while ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if we still don't bust some carp today. But I really, I mean, I was hoping what we were seeing yesterday was the beginning, not the end. And honestly, I was a little surprised too. The other thing I was surprised about was that we didn't catch more carp yesterday. What I have found in past years when I have seen carp spawning, it's a very easy bite. I mean, you just catch them one after another. And so when I saw that going on yesterday, at the beginning of that video, I'm like, oh, here we go, y'all. We're about to tear them up. We're gonna rock it today. And we ended up catching several fish. I mean, it was a productive trip, don't get me wrong. But we never turned on that carp bite, like just the one fish after another like I've had in some years past. So it's just one of them days, man. That's fishing. Again, you don't know what you're gonna get day to day, trip to trip. And that's what makes it fun and sometimes frustrating too. And if y'all miss another fish, if you miss 3 in a row, I swear I'm gonna get me a new fishing partner. I'm gonna be real frustrated with you. I mean, here I am, 44 years old, and I have never, ever, ever lost a fish in my life. Not one time. And y'all done botched 2 here first thing. You're gonna get another chance here in a second. Something's tugging on it there. Every time I let you all try to reel one in, you mess it up somehow. But we're gonna have us some morning. I'm gonna fish till about lunchtime. I'm gonna fish 3 or 4 hours. Today, it's gonna be cloudy today. But I mean, we've got like miserable tropical, it's like 100% humidity. I mean, it's just nasty. The air's thick, it's humid. All this rain. We got more rain coming this afternoon, like pop-up storms and downpours and stuff. So I'm gonna just fish a few hours this morning, be off the water before all the storms and everything move through. And I guess I got lucky yesterday because I got home and I hadn't been home, 5-10 minutes maybe. And I hear the rain beating the roof. I look out the window and man, it's just sky's just opened up. We have had so much rain this past week. I mean, it's just crazy difference, man. Crazy, just like the fishing changing dramatically one day to the next, man. The weather, you go from droughts to floods in the blink of an eye. But the good thing is we get our water level back up to normal. There's going to be some areas that I would normally like to be catfishing right now, and I just haven't been able to access. There's certain areas of the river that, being in a kayak, it's the main thing that's limiting to me in a kayak. I mean, sure, I'm limited on how much gear I can carry. I'm limited on how many rods I can fish. I don't care about that. I'm perfectly content fishing 2 rods on a catfish trip. I've done really well. I mean, I honestly, and I've told you all this before, but I feel like if I'm where I need to be when I need to be there, 2 rods is going to keep me plenty busy. If I'm at the wrong place or maybe the right place at the wrong time, it don't matter if I've got 20 rods out, you can't catch fish that ain't there. So I'm content with just fishing a couple rods, and I don't need to carry a lot of gear. So I'm not very limited in a kayak from that aspect. But the one thing that kayak fishing does limit me on is my range. How much water can I cover? You know, I can only go, in this kayak here, for instance, you know, I'm in the Hobie Pro Angler with my fancy bow mount motor up there. Well, full speed in this thing, I'll get 4.5 miles an hour. So my range is a little longer in this than what it is in my Hobie Lynx. But still, I mean, if you're going, has that rod got tapped? If you're going, say, 4 miles an hour and you want to make a 2-mile run to get somewhere, well, that's 30 minutes each way. 30 minutes up, 30 minutes back. Well, that's a big portion of your trip just running. It's not like having a boat with an outboard motor. So, there's certain areas of the river that you just don't have access. You don't have close access, like you might have a place on the side of the road I can put in here, and then the next place maybe is a boat ramp, but it's several miles away. So those areas in between those launch sites, if there's a long distance between them, it's just kind of no man's land. And right now there are some areas of the river that I'd like to be fishing, but because there might only be one place I can get in that particular area, if it's inaccessible because the water's too low, what do? You just out of luck as a kayak fisherman. You just ain't gonna fish there. And and some of these areas, look, there are some of them, like there's 2 places I can think of, like I could maybe get in, but boy, it'd be a lot of work, and honestly kind of dangerous too. I was talking there in that last video, I'm like, some of these places it'll be, you've got dry ground, and then when the water's up, it'll be 6 inches to a foot deep for a long stretch. And then you finally get out to deeper water. Well, when the water's down, you've just got mud. All that area that would be normally 6 inches to a foot deep, it's just mud. And some of those places, man, you step in that mud and you don't just sink down to your ankle, you sink down to your shin. It's like quicksand. And boy, that'd be a hell of a story. It's a big, hopefully have access to my phone. Be like, call somebody up, call a friend and be like, hey, I'm knee deep in mud. Can you come pull me out? That'd be a hell of a story. I've only been, I ain't never been stuck personally. Fortunately, I have almost got my car stuck one time. I used to, something hit it again. We're getting some taps over there on that shad. But, for the longest time I had my car and I was towing a trailer, kayak trailer, with it. And one time I backed down a hill, it was a grassy hill, to the edge of the river, and the grass was wet. and I like to never got out of there. I mean, I was spinning tires, trying to take it at an angle. Like I could not, I like to never, it took forever. That was the one time where I was like, I may have to call for help. And I was in a backwoods area too. Like cell phone service was minimal. I was probably going to have to walk a long distance to get enough service to be able to call somebody. But thankfully I got out, but that's been the one time where I was really sweating it. But I don't want to be in a situation where I'm stepping in mud where you sink down to your shin or your knee and get stuck. So when the water comes up, all of that's done. We can just get in wherever. Something keeps hitting that rod over there. I wish he'd commit to it. Doo-doo or get off the pot, as the saying goes. Let's cover our worms back up here. We got them old night crawlers. Get our tools out the way. We got our umbrella with us today, just in case. Zip our pack bait back up. I'm gonna leave our shad sitting there. Again, I didn't bring any ice or cooler or nothing because I said I'm gonna just bring them shad out the refrigerator and we'll use them this morning, and whatever we don't use, I'm gonna toss, and then on my way back to the car today, I'm gonna throw the net again, get some more bait, and then try to catch some catfish with that tomorrow. I'm gonna probably go for a drift tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be another one of the situations we're supposed to have like scattered afternoon storms and downpours, but in the morning, at least the current forecast is looking pretty good. So we'll get out, go for a drift. Fortunately, with the rain we've had, they're actually generating at the dam. We got a little flow, so we will actually be able to drift, which will be nice. But we'll go do that and you know, see what we can catch. And then I think the day after that, we're supposed to have like more all day. Of course, the forecast will change 36 times between now and then. You know how the weather forecasters are. They ain't worth a damn. You think we should check that shad? I mean, it was just that little body piece. It's been hit numerous times. I'm wondering if it's still on there. We'll take a look. If it is, we may go ahead and just switch it out anyway. Yeah, it is still on there. Yeah, we've got plenty of shad, since we're just using what I've brought with us here for today. We've got plenty here, so let's just take one of these. And this one here, I'm just gonna snip the tail off of, basically. These are a little bit bigger hooks than what we need for this. I like, for the light tackle catfish, and I like the #1 size. These are a 3/0, because these are some new hooks that I've been testing out here for Catfish Sumo. So I like the style, just want a little bit smaller size for like that size of shad we're using there. We don't need a hook like that. That big anyway. So I reset my power poles. I've got that's the reason I wanted to bring this kayak out yesterday, mostly because I got this power pole set up on this. I've got this board across the back rail of my kayak here. This is just a 2x6, I guess. It's been so long I can't remember what size it is, but I mounted my rod holders on here and then ran it a little beyond the rail of my kayak so I could put the power poles and put them on each side over here. And what that does is it allows me to keep the kayak still. When we set them things, the kayak don't move side to side. If you got them in the back, if you got one in the back and a fish hits or the wind blows, you get a weather vaning effect, right? And at one point when I first got these things, I had them both mounted in the back, but they were so close together that you still end up getting that weather vaning effect. So I jimmy rigged this setup, And this works really well when I'm carp fishing. Now, when I come out yesterday, I didn't know that the water was still going to be down a little bit. I thought with all the rain, we'd be back up to normal pool. So in theory, we could have brought the lynx and just pulled it up into the grass over there and basically bank fished. But I needed to run this kayak again anyway and make sure the motor and everything's still working right and all that, because I ain't been in it much. I've been in my Hobie Lynx all year. I loved that Lynx, and it's become my primary kayak. And so I just don't fish out of this Hobie Pro Angler much anymore. And I'll tell you, being back in it the last couple days, it feels weird, honestly. This kayak sets so much higher up off the water than my Lynx. It's just, it feels weird. That's all I can say. Like, you get used to things being in a certain way and how the kayak feels when you move certain ways. Like, you get adapted to it, you get used to it. And then when you don't fish, I was used to this thing, I didn't fish out of it for a long time, and then you get back in it, you're like, oh, well, this is weird. So it's taken some getting used to again. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this kayak or not much longer. New bait's already getting tapped. Those may be some turtle taps too. Possibly when we're fishing this shallow, I'm hoping maybe that 3/0 size hook will maybe keep the small turtles from getting hooked up. If we get a big snapper or something, they can obviously eat that hook, but the small sliders, the smaller snapper, stuff like that, little mud turtles, like, they can mess with the bait, but they probably won't be able to get the hook too. I oftentimes catch some turtles when I'm carp fishing, so it's possible. That cut bait will certainly draw them in, so we may be getting some turtle bites maybe. The two bigger takedowns were definitely fish though. The turtles wasn't doing that. Yeah, so anyhow, I may end up, I need to replace this kayak anyway, just due to its age. It's getting up there. It's still fine. It's still perfectly functional. But this is a 2017 model, and so it's, 2026 now. You can do the math how old this thing is. So it's showing its age a little bit, and I need to replace it with something, but every time I think I've found a replacement for it, I end up not liking the replacement, so stick with this. I've got another kayak coming, which I can't really, it's a brand new kayak. I can't tell you nothing about it really. It's a brand new kayak coming out. It's being launched at ICAST. I've had to sign an NDA with the company that's allowing me to use it, so I can't really go into much detail on it. And quite honestly, at this point right now, as I'm filming this video, I don't really know much about it. They've been pretty tight-lipped. They've been lining up some influencer people because they want us to, we're going to get access to this kayak before ICAST so that we can do some filming with it and be able to launch some videos when they release the kayak. But to this point, they're just lining people up. They're not really elaborating on the design of the kayak, the features, none of that. I can tell you they're proud of it and they're protective of it. And every question I asked, I had a phone conversation with the representative of the company. Man, every question I asked, I was pretty much stonewalled on. I'd ask something and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I'd ask another question, but yeah, I'm sorry, I can't answer that either. I wish I could tell you, but no, I can't answer that. I'm like, so, you know me, I'm when they're talking about a new kayak, and you know, they say it's something different than they've ever done before. It's one few things he could tell me. I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'll try it out. So hopefully be getting that soon, but I won't be able to show it to you until whenever ICAST is. I think it's second week of July. It's usually around first or second weekend in July every year. It's a big, if you're not familiar, ICAST is a big like fishing trade show. I think it's in Orlando, I believe. It's somewhere down in Florida. I'm pretty sure it's Orlando. And they do it every summer, and all the big kayak companies and boat companies and fishing brands, anything in the fishing industry, they all go down there and show off all the new products they have coming out in the coming year. And they have basically a bunch of networking opportunities for people like me, content creators and stuff. I've never been to ICAST. I don't give a damn about networking. I'm a terrible influencer, folks. I should care more about that stuff. Well, quite honestly, I just don't. I'm just not social enough. I'm just not willing to play that part of the game. I should. It would be better for me financially, better for business if I would play the game, but I just don't. I would rather just do this. Go fishing, film it. If you want to watch, if you want to come along on these trips with me through these videos, great. I'm glad to have you. If you don't, that's okay too. There's a lot of other options out there, but I feel like people are going to find me organically. Like, I don't need to try to manipulate it by doing collaborations or going to ICAST and filming all these new products to just make videos that I just, you know, a lot of people do that, and more power to them. I don't care. I mean, if they're happy with it, if they think it's good for them, great. But man, I'm just at a point in my life, and I'm sure some of you all can relate to this. It's like, I want to do what I want to do. You know, at my age, and I don't want to get all morbid, I do it every damn video. But, you know, I'm 44. Statistically speaking, I'm past the halfway point in my life. I'm definitely my most healthy, my most energetic years, all that, those are for sure behind me, right? So right now I feel good, I'm healthy. I have, you know, I don't have as much energy today as what I had in my 20s, but I can do whatever. Like that old Toby Keith song, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Yeah, that's me right now, right? So with that in mind, and the fact the writing's on the wall, like, I don't know how many good years I have left. I mean, I hope I have 30 or 40 good, healthy years left. But I've definitely got less than when I started, and I don't want to waste them. I don't want to waste time doing stuff I don't want to do. I mean, it's one thing if I take an electric bike from a company, you know, in exchange for putting it on a video, and I spend 15 minutes assembling the bike and 15 minutes filming with it, and I either get to keep the bike if I want, you know, or turn around and sell it and make a nice profit on it. Like, that's one thing. But when you're talking about traveling to a trade show like ICAST, where you're going to have to make a time commitment, not only to either drive or fly down there, film for a few days, trying to hit all the booths and show everything. Oh, our carp rod. Here we go. Wouldn't it be something if this was a catfish on this one? We've got a catfish bait out. Y'all can't keep a catfish hooked up and then we get a cat. I'm thinking this is probably a carp, but It would be the ultimate smack in the face if we could catch catfish on the carp rigs and not on the catfish rigs today. Some of y'all need to get smacked in the face right now. Maybe you'd wake up. Maybe you wouldn't miss them fish. See, I'm reeling one in here, and you look at me, I ain't lost this fish yet. I'll let you all try to reel in the other ones, and you botched it. He swam over that line, but somehow or another he didn't get in it. How far are we into this? Lord Almighty, we're 40-something minutes in. Well, that's typically when I'm carp fishing. It typically takes 45 minutes to an hour to get the first bite. So we're right on cue for that, and it is a carp. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a carp right there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, we got our other line over there too. I completely forgot about that other rod we cast out. Lord, it's a wonder he didn't get in it. All right, here, let's go under this rod. Now let's try to steer him back here on the other side of the motor, and we're gonna net him. We'll net him on the left here if we can. Okay, get your net here, folks. Bring him over here. Get this old fish over here. You number one here, fish. Oh, our other rod was getting hit. Did it? Well, he didn't hook up. Lord, now he's going over here. He's under the kayak. Probably gonna get around them power poles over there on the other side. He is. Lord Almighty. I'm over here distracted because the rod was getting hit. And he's over here around the damn power pole. Get back over here, fish. You've made a fool of all you fish today are making me look completely incompetent. And even though I am, for the most part, I don't want these people on video knowing that. Come over here. We're done playing around. Get in there. There you go. Okay. There we go. Number one, folks. That ain't bad either, buddy. Old carp. Carp, if you up here looking for the ladies, they're gone. The time for your fun apparently was earlier in the week in the rain. Me and you both missed it, Carp. Oh, quit. Quit it now. I swear these things get more lively after you bring them in. Here, let's get that hook out. Let's work on that hook. There, we got it out. I was going to give you some front camera time, fish, which we ain't even set up the front camera mount. But if you're going to act like this, you're just going to get on out. You're going to get on out this kayak. There he is, folks. I'm going to hold him out like that. Oh! Boy, he went cannonball into the pool. And did he get you? He didn't get a drop of water on the lens, but it's all down the side of my face. I feel it running down my shirt right now. Good golly, we got to get it together, folks. This trip's, it's off to a hell of a start. No carp spawning activity. We ain't caught a single catfish yet, which I thought we would really tear up today. And now I'm soaking wet from a carp going cannonball into the pool. Like, something's up today, man. I don't know. Is it a full moon or something? Like, what? Something crazy's going on. Now, Lord, now you've got this. Now you've got this set up here, wrapped around you, your net. We're just in bad shape today. All right, now there we go. Well, let's get this reset. We probably need to reel in. It's been so long now, we probably need to reel in our other carp rig over here and refresh it as well. After I get all this mess untangled, I can't believe you all. I think you just tied knots in it. I think you just purposely sabotaging me. Let's get this cast back out, see if we can get some more. I want to catch some more of those. He was fun until he splashed me in the dang face. I'm going to pack quite a bit of this on here to start with, till we get an area kind of built up over here, and then we'll back off on the pack bait a little bit. But right now I'm going to put quite a bit of it on there. What'd you do with the worms? Oh, there. Put us a worm on. I just don't think putting a worm on, I don't think that's ever a bad idea, folks. I think it's, you can catch a lot of carp on worms even without all of the pack bait and all that. So I think it's just a good idea to have it. It definitely don't hurt. And I definitely get more buffalo with the worms than what I did without. So we're gonna roll with it. Okay, now we're back in business. Okay, got that one reset. Now, let's just reel this one in over here that ain't done diddly poo-poo for us. Let's see if it's, yeah, all the pack baits fell off. And our worm is still, he's dead, I assume. Well, something got part of him. Part of him's still alive, but yeah, ain't much left of him. We'll switch all that out. Yesterday, it was weird, the rod on the other side of the channel on the right, because I had one on the right side of the channel, one on the left. The one on the right was getting hit non-stop in the beginning. Couldn't get the one on the left hit. And then it switched, and the one on the left started getting all the action. The one on the right wasn't getting hit. Definitely, though, yesterday, man, it was definitely more action yesterday, for sure. I mean, we were getting bit just a few minutes into the trip yesterday. So less fish here for sure. I mean, that's obvious from the lack of spawning activity, but I think there's less catfish here right now too, clearly. Okay, get that back out. Set it here behind us. And since this got hit, let's just check it and see if we got bait on there. I'm guessing we don't. Well, it feels we do not. Okay, so something ripped us off while we was wrestling with that carp. Let's go ahead and get us one of these. This is a little bit bigger shad here, but we'll just cut him and cut him about half right there, I guess. Lord, I can't get him back in the, I was trying to guide him back in the bag with the scissors there. I can't do it. Okay. We'll just have all three rods reset here. And out it goes. Okay. We're back in the game, folks. We're 40-something minutes in. Y'all have only managed to catch one fish. So, slow start. But, as I've said so many times, usually with the carp fishing, most days, it takes 45 minutes, an hour to get the first bite most of the time. And then it kind of picks up from there. I feel like sometimes I spook fish. When you're going through these little shallow creeks and whatnot, you're motoring along, and I feel like maybe it kind of scatters them, and then it takes a little while for them to come back. And maybe that's the reason why it takes 45 minutes, an hour to get that first bite sometimes. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's just me trying to analyze and logically understand something that's not logical. Who knows? But either way, we got our first fish. We got the skunk out. No skunk today. No catfish yet either, surprisingly. I really thought we would have several catfish by now, but no such luck. But anyhow, wrapping up on the whole trade show deal, like, you know, to go down there, it's a huge time commitment. Going down, I would probably drive down. If I did go, I wouldn't want to fly for that, because I'd hopefully do some fishing either on the way down or on the way back, taking the kayak with me. But I mean, you got to give up a few days. I've got to film videos that I'm not interested in, not passionate about. Got to interact with a bunch of people, which I don't want to do. And it's like, is it worth it? You know, I mean, every single one of us, I don't care what your situation in life is, maybe how well off you are, financially, whatever, like, everybody has to do stuff that they don't want to do. I mean, that's part of life. Like, there's going to be things that you don't want to do, but you have to do. You got obligations. And I'm at a stage in my life where, like, I want as few obligations as possible. I want to just, the best way to live life. This has been my philosophy for a long time, and I feel like the more days you can have like this, the better your life's going to be. But I just want to wake up every day when I want to wake up, not because I have to wake up, because I have to be somewhere, but wake up when I want to wake up and think, Justin, what do you want to do today? What's going to make you the happiest today? And go do it. And is that possible every day? No, it's not possible for anybody every day, because there's obligations, things you have to do. Things come up. But the more of your life that you can spend in that very scenario, the better your life's going to be. And so for me, taking off and going to some trade show like ICAST that I just don't give a damn about, to rub elbows with people that I don't give a damn about and who won't give a damn about me, that we're going to be there to use each other. I mean, that's what all the bullshit is on collaborations and whatnot. It's just people using each other, try to mooch off their audience or customer base, whatever the case may be. I just don't, at this stage of my life, like, it's just not, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Or maybe it is, and I just don't like the taste. I don't know, but I don't want to do it. When you get right down to it, I just don't want to do it. So I'm not. And I'm trying to do as little stuff that I don't want to do as possible for the rest of my life. Now, life happens. Going to be some stuff coming up in the future out of my control. Same with all of you. Every single one of us, at some point in our life, is going to have health problems. It's unavoidable. Either you or a close family member, close friend, some loved one, maybe a pet. Like, that's going to happen. There's other stuff that comes. Man, maybe your job. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe you have to travel for your job or work overtime or whatever, right? I mean, like, statistically, 80% of people hate their job. Back when I had a real job, I hated it. So I can totally relate. But, like, I mean, that's the number one obligation that people have, is their work, right? Work first, then family. I think what's that old saying? God, family, country, something like that. Most people, it's work, then family, then themselves. Or some people, it's work, then themselves, and then their family. That's the priority list. But either way, I mean, for most people, their job, and it was like that with me back before this YouTube crap took off, and I was working a real job, like that took up all my time. And even when I was off, your head was still in the game. Like you're still thinking about work. You're either thinking about something that happened the day before when you was at work on your off day, or it's your off day and you're dreading going back to work tomorrow. So that takes up your mind, and there's something keep messing with that shad right there. But when you've got stuff like that on your mind, it takes you out of the present. Like you're not presently focused and fully able to enjoy whatever it is you're doing, because your mind is somewhere else on something that you don't enjoy. So I don't miss that part. I don't miss the rat race. I don't miss having to sacrifice. I mean, and it ain't just the time that you're on the clock either. Because you think about it, like most people, you know, as a nurse, I was a travel nurse. I worked, usually our contracts, hold on, this rod, something tugged on it. But like the travel nurse contracts, they're going to contract you for 3 12-hour shifts a week. And so I would do a block schedule. I would get that in my contract. I would do 6 on, 8 off type deal. But it ain't just those 12 hours that you're on at work. Because first off, you ain't, most time you ain't getting out of work on time. But you've got to factor in too the time it takes you to drive to work, the time it takes you to drive home, just getting ready for work in the mornings. How much time does that take you? Are you a suit and tie office type job? Maybe it takes you a little longer to get ready. Or maybe you're some other kind of, I mean, as a nurse, I didn't have to wear no suit and tie. It didn't take me very long to get ready in the mornings or in the evenings if I was working night shift. But chances are I probably wasn't getting out of work on time, so my 12 hours are going to turn into 12 and a half, 13 hours, right? Then your time driving back and forth from wherever you're staying to work and such. So your time, even if you're working a 36 or 40 hour a week job, you're actually, the job is consuming more hours than that. And you have to sleep. I mean, the human body, you have to sleep. You can't not sleep. Like there's so many, I mean, most people don't get as much sleep as they should. And maybe if you're some meth head, you can maybe go a few days without sleep as that left rod gets hit. But like, I mean, the human body, we have to sleep. So that's going to tie up some of your time. And so when you look at it, like how much time do you really have in a week? It ain't much, man. If you're working a full-time job and you got family commitments, like how much time do you get for you in a week? It ain't much. I ain't trying to depress you, but it ain't much, folks. As we got, look at this right here. I'm probably gonna spook him. Can you see right here? I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. There's a gar right there on the edge of those weeds. I don't know if you can see him or not with the glare and the camera and all. Little baby gar coming up here, taunting us, making fun of us for not being able to catch fish out here today. So I don't know, man. I don't know how you create more time that don't exist. There's only 24 hours in a day, and if you're working 8 to 12 of it, driving however long it takes you to get back and forth, take time out to get ready, you got to eat at some point, you got to sleep. Like there ain't many hours left. There just ain't much time left. But if you can create time and be able to just think to yourself, what do I want to do? What's going to make me the happiest? That's time well spent, man. The more of that time you can create for yourself, the better your life is going to be. And that's why I'm so confused well, confused and conflicted on this whole AI arms race that's happening, right? Because here's one of the things I've heard. Like, I haven't, listen, don't come to me for AI expert advice. I'm about as tech illiterate as you can be. I mean, here I do have a damn YouTube channel and social media business, and I can barely operate a computer. How the hell I've made it this far, I have no idea how I've done it with as little as I know about tech stuff. But one of the things is this right on the right, man, something keeps pecking that shad. I hope it ain't a turtle. He's staying after it. Either way, that bait's getting chewed up. We'll have to change it out here in a little bit. Here's one of the things that the tech people keep telling us online on videos and stuff. They'll say, AI is going to wipe out all these jobs. And you're going to have all these people that are either unemployed or underemployed, and therefore they're going to need to be taken care of. They're going to have some kind of universal basic income because people aren't going to have work. They're not going to be able to support themselves otherwise. But technology is going to create all this wealth, so it's going to be possible. That's what they claim, right? But the naysayers are like, well, if people don't have jobs, they don't have a life. They have no purpose. They're just gonna wither away as human beings. And I don't know what to think about that. On one hand, I think there is a worker bee mentality, or an ant mentality, if you will. When you think about bees and you think about ants, you have the worker bees and worker ants. I think the bees are called drones or whatever. Has he got it now? I think maybe he's got it now. He's gonna run now. Pause the story, y'all. We got a hell of a run happening here. It's a fish, it ain't no turtle doing that. He needs to swim to the right though. It's a cat. We got us a catfish, y'all. I felt him rolling just then. Yeah, there you go, fish. Go back that direction. Stay out of that other line over yonder. Yeah, all right. It took a while to get the first kitty, but here we go. We got it. Still ain't got to look at him yet. I felt him rolling, so we know it's a cat. Just ain't been the cats in here today so far as what we saw yesterday. But it makes sense. All the carp was splashing around, so there probably was drawing in the cats. Maybe them cats just followed the carp on out too, who knows? I still ain't got to look at this thing because of the muddy water. He's hitting it and getting it, buddy. He's strong. They all feel strong on this lighter gear. I just want to get a look at you, fish. Come on already. Just pop your head up long enough for us to see you. This water ain't, I mean, we're just over here on this side of the creek where we're at. I mean, we're probably just a foot or so deep. But with the water being chocolate milk color, can't see nothing. Let me just put a little pressure on it here. Turn this way, fish. Don't get in that anchor pole. It's blue. Fun sizer. Old fun size. We'll play him out here just a minute. We'll get him over here. I want one of y'all to net him for me if you would. Help a fella out now. Be a team player. If you ain't gonna reel them in, and Lord knows I can't let you reel them in because you'll lose them every time, you at least net them for me. I don't think that's asking a lot. This fish says it's asking a lot of him to come over here to get netted. He's strong, especially for his size. And even on the lighter gear here, it's a pretty strong fish. Okay. Let's get the net ready. I'm gonna scoop him up next time we swing him around here. Well, I thought I was. That gummit fish. Get over here and act like somebody. You done now, you whooped. We've got you whooped. You beat. He says, I'll show you beat. He says, I got 3 more rounds than me. This ain't Johnny Manziel and Bob Memory or whatever his name is. Like this fight's gonna go the distance, this fish says. He ain't no Ronda Rousey gonna submit somebody in 17 seconds. Come over here now. Get in that net. Got him. All right. We got it, folks. A little fun sizer here, buddy. Yep. Okay. All right. Not a bad fish, especially in this shallow water. That made it a little bit more exciting. Let's see where the hook is at. I'll tell you what, before I unhook him and hold him up here, let's grab our, where's it at? There it is. Let's grab our camera mount here out of the hatch. Okay. Here, I'll tell you what, why don't you all sit up here in the front seat, and I'm gonna hold this fish up for a picture if I get my words out. Give him his moment of fame. While I get him unhooked, y'all just admire the top of my head here, this hat. Available at Catfish Sumo. Can I have the hook fish, please and thank you, sir? Please and thank you. There. Okay, now let's hold you up. Lord, now we got your fins in the net. I'm in bad shape today, folks. I need to go back to bed and wake up and start again today. There he is. Nice fun sizer. Oh, ugly thing. You looking for carp or shad in this creek, Catfish? He ain't telling me. He says he ain't got time to tell me. He's got to get back to it. Oh, we got another one on. Folks, we got another one right here. Look right here. Let me grab the camera. He's swimming with it. He's swimming with it. Oh, that's a carp. I saw him come up out of the water then when I set the hook. Okay, buddy, business is picking up. We sat here twiddling thumbs for a little while. Now we got 2 back to back. Oh, no we don't. Y'all lost him. See, that's why I shouldn't let you reel one in. I shouldn't have let you reel that in, you lost it. Well, fiddlesticks. Okay, let's get some stuff rebaited here. I can't believe y'all just pulled that hook right out of that fish's mouth. But you did, sure as the world. And wrap that hair rig around the hook there. Put some more pack bait on. That was a carp. I saw him when you set the hook. I saw him come up. I was looking. I was spotting for you, and then I saw him swim off too when you pulled the hook out of his mouth. Hell of a job you done there. Them carp, man, they've got really soft mouths. They're kind of sucker mouths, and you'll pull the hook out if you ain't careful. Oh, we're getting our other rod hit here. Oh, we are. Hell, that thing's swimming down the creek. I didn't know that one was on. I heard the rod behind me moving. Boy, we got fish working through now. We've got some coming through, folks. That's 3 fish. We don't want this one. I think this is a channel cat. But 3 fish, just boom, boom, boom here. Yeah, we could have done without this one. I wish this one would come off. Come up here. Let's get rid of you quick. I don't want nothing to do with you, channel cat. If I'm gonna catch a channel cat and enjoy it, it better be a big one. Here. There he, get out of here. Get out, there he is, folks. Old channel kitty. He's left the worm on though. Nice of him. Got a refund on that bait. Yeah, we've got some fish working through right now, y'all, because that's 3 fish just quicker than we can get rebaited on the other rods. So I will gladly take some action out here today. That's what we came here to do, is catch some fish, right? And get some tugs on the line. Okay, this has got a little bit of pack bait on it, but I'm gonna spruce it up, certainly. Yeah, all right, y'all. Let's get baited back up, and I'm gonna finish my story about purpose in life without a job. Since that's the fear and the concern, is people are gonna lose their will to live because they don't have a job. Well, we're gonna discuss that a little bit because I've got some thoughts on it. Okay, there's that one out of the way. I gotta set these poles again too. I feel like we're working them loose here a little bit. There we go. Okay, now let's get a worm on this. Okay, what'd you do with the worms? There they are. Keep getting I'm all out of sorts, y'all. I ain't been in this kayak enough. I'm just out of sorts and where I keep things again. I'll put on a whole night crawler there and let's hook him a couple times. Okay. Let's get the other pack bait rod here out the way. There it goes. Now, let's get us another shad and we'll be back in business. Get that out of the way. I think there it is. It's in the net here. There we go. Grab you one of these shad out of here. The last one ate a head, or half of a head anyway. Boy, something was a big... Something's going on right over here. Right by that tree right there. Boy, if that's a damn boogeyman, y'all handle it for me. Something's a big splash right there, though. Let's just cut that shad like that, get it bleeding a little bit. All right, we're about to be everything set out again here, folks. Let's just... Okay. There it is. Everything's reset. Hell of a job right there, folks. We got 2 out of the 3. Let's do something with your net here. Let me set it over here behind us. Well, I can't because it won't fit down in the thing. All right. Well, here, let's just set it like that maybe. That dang net's in the way. That's a brand new net. Yesterday was the first time I used it. It's got bigger, it's deeper and it's got bigger loops. I think it'll be great for the catfishing. But when we got a bunch of crap in the kayak like we do today, it's kind of in the way. All right, man. Well, hey, We're a little over an hour in, but we're finally starting to get some bites now. Business has picked up, to quote Jim Ross. So anyway, let's talk about this situation, right? So you've got people saying all these jobs are going to be displaced. People either not going to be able to get work, or they're going to be able to get kind of remedial jobs that aren't going to pay anything, so they're going to have to support society, kind of. I mean, hell, we already support most of society as it is, seems like. But the fear is that these people that are currently working, living productive lives, that they're just going to lose their will to live. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. And, you know, my first thought is like, well, if people don't have to go to work every day, they're going to be able to pursue whatever dreams or aspirations they have. Like they're going to be able to dedicate their time to doing like what I talked about, waking up and being like, what do I want to do today? What's going to make me the happiest? Like if you got money coming in guaranteed, if your needs are met from some universal basic income, it don't mean like you can't go out and try to make more money. Like you can just do whatever it is you want. Or maybe if you like doing something that, hell, I don't know, maybe you like just walking around and picking up leaves off the ground and trying to figure out what tree they came from. I don't know what makes you happy. But if you've got time and money, you can do whatever makes you happy. But there is a mentality with some people, and I know people like this, man. I could name you half a dozen people right off the top of my head that their jobs are their identity. It's who they are. And if they were to lose that, maybe they would lose themselves. And it's kind of, the reference I was trying to make before the fish interrupted was like with ants and bees. With bees, you've got that queen, and then you got all the worker bees, and they're all doing a role. They're all doing a job to support the queen and the colony. Same thing with the ants. You've got that one queen ant or whatever that's called, and you got all them other little worker ants that they're building the nest. They're going out finding food and bringing it back, right? Like that's their place in their society. That's their role. That's their job. Without that, they are nothing. And so it's like, with humans, yes, we're all individuals. Everybody has their own unique personality. But a lot of people's personality and their social status, if you will, their confidence, even their self-esteem, it's wrapped up in their job. So I think for a lot of people, there would be an adjustment period where they have to transition out of that worker bee mindset to being their own individual queen bee, if you will. And it might be hard in the beginning. I think as time went on, like if you had future generations of people that are born into the new system, if it actually, I mean, who knows if AI is going to amount to anything or not, truth be told. We don't really know at this point. But if it all comes to fruition like these experts claim it's going to, and computers and robots are running the world and we're just living in utopia, well, future generations that are born into utopia, like they'll be fully adapted by the time they're adults. Like that's the only world they will have known. It's the current generation that's going to be displaced. It's going to be the one that maybe has the problems, if there are any problems. And I don't know what to think about it, really. I mean, part of me thinks that if it was to come to fruition and people could truly pursue whatever makes them happy on a day-by-day basis, they're going to be living their best lives. But then I realized, well, not everybody's like me. Not everybody's going to think the same way. And, I think about like, oh, our cut bait got hit. But I think about a situation like, with my own mother, for instance. Now, she doesn't work anymore, but when she did work, like her job was kind of her identity, and her coworkers, that was her community. That's who she interacted with. That was, that was her friend group. I mean, that was her social circle, if you will. Like, the job took so much time, and you spent so much time with those other people that they were just, that's who her community was. Now then, when she got cancer and all of a sudden she couldn't do that job anymore, there was a transition period where I think that was the worst part of cancer for my mother, honestly, was losing her ability to do that job. I think as that fish hits that right rod again, I think that was the worst part of cancer for her, honestly, because it took something from her. It took her identity. It took her community, her social status. Like, there was even though she never liked the job, she was good at it, and it gave her purpose. It was what she done 5 days a week. And those people, even though a lot of them, I mean, coworkers, some of them she liked, some of them she didn't, just like you with your job. It was still her community. And so when she got cancer and couldn't do that job anymore, she lost her Monday through Friday purpose. She lost her community. And you could just see, like, you could see that something important had been taken from her, even though it didn't seem important, and most of the time it seemed like a burden having to go to work. It was important on a different level. Now, fish, you better have it this time. I think he does. He does. He's pulling it. He's pulling a little drag. Not much, but a little. Okay, it's a cat. I thought it might have been a turtle for a second, but he rolled. So it's definitely a cat, and he's coming right at us. Boy, now he's going to hit it and get it. Well, just go on with your bad self, fish. You want to run a sprint here, we'll let you do it. You can just run as hard as you want to, as long as it don't get in another line, a tree, or an anchor pole. He's trying to go back there to them trees. He's trying. I ain't gonna let you do it, fish. Yeah, that's another one here that's fun size, we'll call it. So far, granted, we got that little channel cat, but the two blues now we've got have both been a little better quality than the fish that we were getting yesterday. Yeah. We liable to bust a monster in this creek, y'all. I know it seems unlikely, but man, if you get a big fish working up in here, to either try to feed on some carp or maybe look for spawning areas, like, it could happen. I don't know if it will, but it could. Either way, we're getting some bites now. We wasn't getting first thing. Okay, come over here. Let's steer him around here. Get that net. There you go. All right. Welcome to the show, fish. And you put on a show for us. Not much of one, but you put on a little bit of a show, and we're grateful for it. I'm grateful y'all managed to reel in a fish without losing it. Well, that's a miracle in itself right there. I can't get that hook out. he's double hooked here. He went in one way and then hooked him again the other. These lighter wire hooks, you kind of got to be a little bit careful with getting them out, especially with pliers, because you'll bend them. I don't know if I'm going to give you front camera time fish. I think we're going to hold you up like this. You're just a larger dink, really. We'll hold him out like that, though. He was a good time on the lighter gear for sure. Yeah, folks, we got another one there. Let's get us another shad and put on. We need to do something with this net. This thing just ain't got a good place for it right now. There we go. The other net was comparable size in hoop diameter, but it was more of an oval, whereas this one's kind of more of a triangle. And of course the mesh netting's wider on this one. So anyway, all right. Just another shad. This is another one. This is a smaller one here, about, I don't know, 4 inches or so probably. Let's throw it out there. Give it a little toss. There we go. Okay. We're back in it. Oh, our back rod. I saw my line twitching. Let me pick this rod up. Let me just see if he knocked some slack in it right there. He's swimming with it. He's headed down. We got him. We got him, folks. We got another one here. I saw my line jump. I knew something was up. Our back rod that was cast over there toward the weeds on the other side. I think it might be another cat, though. He's send him back over here. Get him. Don't go that way, fish. Don't do that. Don't go around the motor like that. Damn you, fish. That daggone fish right there, trying to make us difficult as he possibly can on us. He wants to be landed on this side, he said. I guess that is a cat. It's another blue. This one on the worm and pack bait combo. Let's get him in here right fast before he got an opportunity to get around that motor. He tried. That's where he went first thing, was that motor. I saw what you was up to, fish. I ain't no dummy. This ain't my first rodeo, fish. Your friends have pulled these stunts on me before. I don't get fooled easily anymore, fish. Yeah, let's get that out of there. He's got that hook right there in the bottom jaw. Now, let's get him unwrapped from the Okay, there we go. Up. Don't do it, fish. Don't flop. I'm gonna hold you out there, give you a moment of fame. Little eater-sized dink. Now, you know what we can do? You know what would be a big help? Let's just take the camera mount down. Now, we do that, we can just lay that net right there and get it wrapped up on everything, of course, the camera mount, but either way, we take this down, we got a place for the net again. That'll be a big help getting it out of the way. I may have to go back to the other net, even though it ain't quite deep enough. I may have to go back to it. I'll tell that story in a little bit. Remind me to tell you about the net when I started catfishing out of a kayak, how I got rid of the net very quickly because it kept getting hung on everything. It was similar to that one right there with the wider netting and deeper netting and stuff. I ended up getting rid of it for the very reason I'm pissed off at that net right now. But with the lighter gear, you kind of need a net. So it's kind of one of them necessities in a way. All right, let's get a worm on here. We'll get back to it. It's a smaller knot crawler here. We'll just put that whole thing on too. Hook him a couple times. Okay. Well, folks, we got us another one. Let's throw this back over there. Made a big splash with it too. We just spooked off any fish that was around right there. But we're back in the game. Got all 3 rods out, baited and ready. But anyway, like, to finish up the other story, my mom, initially losing kind of her community and independence and purpose and stuff, it really affected her. More so, I think, than just the, you know, all the stuff you deal with cancer. But over time, she's adapted to it. And now I think, you know, of course, a big part of that now her cancer's gone, so that's a big part of it. But now, like, her life now, she gets to get up and kind of do what she wants. And, you know, she's got her friend circle now. I mean, some of them people that she worked with that she kind of communicated with every day on a friendly basis. Some kept in touch, some didn't. And, you know, vice versa. But now she's got her new life, if you will. And it took a little while to get to it, to adapt to it, but now she's happy again. And I think that's more likely to be the case with people. There's going to be a transition that people go through if they lose their job, especially, and it ain't so much if like they voluntarily leave their job to go pursue something else. It's going to be the people who, like with my mom's case, you know, the cancer and the treatment stuff just prevented her from doing her job anymore. The people who are forced out are going to have a harder time because of just the lack of control. I think that's going to affect them more than anything. But like, I think over time people will adapt. Maybe some won't. Some will struggle with it. But I think overall, I think it's got potential to be, if it truly is utopia, man, a world where everybody can do whatever they want to make themselves happy, pursue whatever dream they have, even if it's a dream that don't pay anything, like there's no financial reward from it as this shad's getting messed with. Like right now, I mean, there's probably stuff that you, the individual person listening right now, there's probably stuff that you like doing and you would do it more if you had more time. Or maybe something that you would like to turn into a business potentially to make a little extra money, but you don't have time for. Imagine if you did have time. So I don't know. I see it from, I try to see it from different angles. I just know for me, man, when I was able to get out of the rat race, my life improved greatly, my overall happiness. But I basically traded one job for another, this YouTube crap, although it's a enjoyable job for the most part. It's still a job. Like, I still have to log some hours. I still have to do some video stuff that I don't necessarily want to do all the time. I mean, there's still some, with any job, there's going to be some stuff that you don't like. I don't care if you've got the best job in the world, man. Whatever you think, in your opinion, the best job in the world is, there's still going to be things about it that you just aren't enjoyable. Day-to-day tasks that you're required to do, you have to do, that you don't want to do. That's true of any job. But I just feel like, humans and society, I mean, yes, we all need a purpose, but I just don't think that going to work for somebody else has to be that purpose. I don't feel like that has to be the case. We got another one on right here on this shad. I mean, we didn't have that shad out very long, I don't feel like. We got some fish. We got more fish working through this creek now, y'all. Either they're moving in as the morning goes on here, or maybe they were here and we spooked them when we first come up through this creek. Because I came from that direction upstream. So maybe I spooked some of these fish coming up through here. And now they've come back and here we are. Yeah, another eater. Little old sandwich sized fish right here. I may just boat lift him in. You small enough, we don't need a net on you. Come on, fish, come over here and show yourself off. He got him some shad, folks. He thought he was getting a free meal, but little did he know there's no free meals. We'll find that out too probably when the AI takes over and we all getting a check from the government, not just the current people who get checks from the government. We're gonna find out there's more attached to it. There's always a catch, ain't there, fish? Ain't nothing free. He said that's the damn truth. He knows it. He knows it firsthand now. He got him a free meal, but it had a hook attached to it. We're gonna put another free meal out there with a hook attached to it too. We're just gonna keep this going. Put them shad heads out there. These smaller shad in here. I don't know that bigger shad. We got but one. I got one good gizzard shad in there. I kind of want to keep him honestly till tomorrow when I go. I'm gonna go. Tomorrow. I mean, if we'd come in here today and the carp spawn was in full swing, I'd probably come back here a third day in a row. But I think tomorrow, unless we just really get on some better quality catfish in here, I'm probably gonna go for a drift tomorrow. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Go and see if I can run into some better quality fish. I think a lot of them are gonna be on the nest at this point, but we ain't gonna know till we get out there and try, right? We ain't gonna be able to, can't catch them from the couch, as the old saying goes. But anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen. None of us really know with this AI. There's so much stuff. Every time a new technology come out in my lifetime, it's gonna be the greatest thing. It's gonna change our lives. And listen, there's been a lot of stuff that has. I think cell phones changed our lives. The internet certainly did. Social media has. I mean, there's been a lot of changes in my time on Earth, man, 44 years now. Gosh. And some of this stuff, I mean, I'm thinking about, like, we're so adapted to it, you kind of take it for granted at this point. But, like, seriously, in my lifetime, I can remember getting a cordless phone. Like, we went from the rotary phone to the cordless phone at my house. It had a big antenna you'd have to pop out. And I'd be in middle school talking to some girlfriend, and you'd have all the static on the phone because I'd be in my bedroom, which was a long way from the receiver or whatever for the cordless phone. And here, now we have a cell phone in our pocket, which is basically a personal computer, and you can talk. You can be anywhere and call anybody who's anywhere. Like now, I mean, what a change in my lifetime. I mean, kids today, they're born in every household's got a computer, but I remember getting the computer for the first time. I remember having an encyclopedia, like that used to be the internet. Back before computers and the internet, Encyclopedia Britannica. That was our internet. That was as good as it got. Now, I open up my cell phone, any question I need answered, I get on Claude or ChatGPT and I ask, and I get an answer immediately. I mean, what a change. What a change. And what's it going to be 40 years from now? So I don't know, but I mean, there's been other stuff too that's kind of been touted like it's the greatest thing ever, and it just didn't come to fruition. 5G cell phones, God almighty, we heard that forever. Yet, a lot of the places on the river here, yeah, I've got good enough service I can make a call, but it ain't no 5G. You ain't live streaming to the YouTube from it. Like we heard about 5G forever. It was a bust. It's a dud. Self-driving cars. Yeah, they've got some self-driving ability. When me and my wife got married in Las Vegas last year, they've got some kind of, I forget the name of the taxi service now, as our shad over here is getting hit again. But they were fully autonomous, like they were fully self-driving, and they could go between, they would be on the main roads, like going between certain casinos. Like it wasn't, you couldn't book it to take you just anywhere, but if you were at one casino and you were wanting to go to the other, you could hop in one of these things and it had no driver. It would just drive itself. But we're still a long ways from self-driving cars. Like I'm not, I don't have a Tesla, but if I did, I wouldn't trust it to drive me from my house to some backcountry road where I'm going to be launching a kayak into, right? Like we were promised that a long time ago, self-driving cars. We're still a long ways from it, if it ever happens at all. So, I mean, there's been some stuff that have been mind-blowing that we never saw coming, like social media. Man, when I was a kid, if you had tried to explain Facebook to me as a kid, I'd have looked at you cross-eyed. I wouldn't have understood it. But here we are now, and social media is just a part of everyday life. Even if you're not on social media, I mean, I guess in this case you are because you're watching this on YouTube, but even people who aren't on social media are fully aware of social media. Like they may have made a conscious decision that they're not going to be a part of it. They're not going to have an account and not going to be on the platform, and I commend them for that. But they know what it is. Like it is so ingrained in society today that everybody knows what social media is. And yet none of us saw it coming. I didn't anyway. I mean, as a kid, I never thought social media would be what it is today. I couldn't have imagined it. As a carp jumped right there in front of our line, he come up and surfaced right down there in front of it. I saw him. I was looking that way when it happened. So undoubtedly, my point with that is, undoubtedly, there's going to be something else on the horizon the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, that we can't even envision right now, but it's going to be life-changing. That's happening. That's coming, folks. I don't know what it is. Don't have a clue. Hopefully I'll survive long enough to see it, whatever it is, but yeah, I just, I don't know. I guess it's the great unknown. I don't know. I hope, and of course, I'm more pessimistic than most. I need to be better at that. I try, but I'm a natural glass half empty kind of guy on most situations. But I would hope the glimmer of optimism that's inside of me, there's just a few embers left. It's not a full fire of optimism anymore. It's just a few embers, just a hint of a fire that once was. But I hope that all of this technology and anything that comes from AI, I hope it will be used for good to improve humanity and not just used to control us and give great power and wealth to the few people who can dominate that industry, and the rest of us peasants just get a thumb held down on us type situation. Like, the pessimist in me believes that's the most likely scenario, is you get a few people at the top, the leaders of whatever industries are about to be made. They will have all the power and all the wealth, and all of us will just we'll be given just enough rations to survive, just enough creature comforts to keep us from revolting. Not that we could revolt anymore. I mean, imagine this, like, go back in time, if you will, Revolutionary War, when we as United States of America, our ancestors, fought the British for our independence. Back in those days, the only thing you really had to worry about if you were on the side of, like, America trying to revolt against the British, the only thing you had to worry about was somebody being a traitor and turning you in, or somebody intercepting a message to get back and forth to the other people fighting the revolution. Nowadays, with all the surveillance, everything, I mean, we are tracked constantly. Just me talking about this probably has me on some government CIA, FBI watch list. Like, it would be so hard now, because first off, military advancements have gotten so much. I mean, back in the Revolutionary War, the British had Navy, they had guns, cannons, and that was major technology back then. But nowadays, I mean, with these drones, somebody sitting in a computer on the other side of the world can take you out. So it's a different time. And the amount of people you would need for a true revolution now, you just couldn't communicate with them. You would be shut down. Even if a person tried, like, you would be shut down instantly, because it would be known from your cell phone, from satellite images. I mean, there's nothing you could communicate, even if you, you would have to have a cell phone to arrange something, and if you did, it's going to be monitored. And even if you didn't have a cell phone, we're constantly being listened to. Every device we have is watching our every move anymore. You going to go completely gadget-free in today's world? Probably not. So there would never be enough people be able to unite for one common cause to have any real change or any real revolution. And there's nothing can be done anymore. We're powerless as people already. And if that power that these people have gets exploited even more, and it already does to an extent, but it could get worse. It could get way worse. I mean, right now, we all got a pretty good life here in America. I've talked about this in some other videos, but like right now, people who are considered poor in America today, in 2026, live better lives than kings and queens did 300 years ago. I mean, kings and queens 300 years ago, healthcare was barbaric, primitive. Food, there was no air conditioning, no clean running water, no hot showers. Like, poor people today live better than kings and queens of 300 years ago. Like, we have a good life now. We really do. We all gripe and complain. I do it all the time. I mean, we take for granted a lot of the creature comforts and freedoms that we have. But with all that said, as great as our lives are right now, it could change in a hurry. Things could go real bad for us. especially as power gets more consolidated at the top. And if AI and this technology race, if it turns out to be as powerful as what the people trying to sell it to us now claim it can be, if it truly turns out to be that powerful, then that power could be used to really control us. I hope that's not the case, but the pessimist in me worries about that. At least when I allow myself to think about it. And I try not to. I try not to think about it. I don't want to. And that's another reason where I'm like, do I want to go to ICAST and travel down there and rub elbows with people I don't want to rub elbows with and film videos I don't want to film? For what? Money? More money? Hell no. My time's worth more than that. My freedom's worth more than that. That's what I want. I want to do what I want to do that's going to make me happy, because I don't know how much longer we can, I mean, any given day, man, things can change. You go out today, normal day, living your best life, boom, you got a car wreck. Totally not your fault. You were in the wrong place, the wrong time, now your life's changed. Maybe you get a cancer diagnosis. Maybe one of your loved ones dies. I mean, it could be any number of things that just changes your life on an instant, man. Just the snap of the fingers, your life changes. And your life as you knew it before is now over. Maybe it gets back to how it was, but it'll never be the same, right? Like you don't lose a parent or a child or a spouse and ever fully rebound. Like you can put the pieces back together. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall and he got rebuilt, right? They put the pieces back together, but it wasn't the same Humpty Dumpty. You're different, you're changed. It don't mean you can't have a productive, happy life again, but it's going to be different. So you got to enjoy what you got. Oh, we're going to enjoy a fish here. Back rod. We're going to enjoy reeling in a fish, what we're going to do at this moment. I think it might be old channel kitty though. It's small, whatever it is. Over on that grass line eating him a worm. He's coming right at us. Oh, well, hello. That's a nice surprise. We got a buffalo. I did not see any of these yesterday, and I usually don't catch them when the carp, well, we're not going to get him at all. I would have liked to have had a picture with that one. I usually don't get buffalo when the carp are actively spawning, but since we don't have any spawning going on right now, I guess that one moved in. He was a very weak fight. He didn't fight at all. And then he thrashed around and spit the hook right here in front of us. At least we got eyes on him. I would have thought it was a turtle or a channel cat if he'd come off. I would have taken a picture with him though. Well, folks, we've now caught carp, blue cat, channel cat. Did we get? Yeah, we got that channel cat, and buffalo now. 4 different species out of this creek that's pretty shallow, or pretty narrow, and definitely shallow. Let me get this hair rig unwrapped. There we go. I mean, there's a little bit of everything in this creek right now. These shallow creeks, not all of them are productive, but the ones that are can have a lot of fish in them. I was saying yesterday, this particular creek, it's kind of the only creek on this stretch of river. I launched in a different creek to come up here, but it's pretty good ways downriver, downstream. So the fish that are in this general area are going to use this creek. Okay, we got that cast back out. I don't see that rod go down as the thing. I heard it and look up, my line is swimming. Okay, let's get that back out of the way. All right, man. So anyway, y'all, I'm just, again, if I could give you one piece of advice, unsolicited advice, you didn't ask for it. It ain't got nothing to do with fishing. Although, if you take my advice, maybe you go fishing. But it would be, live today, man. Whatever time you may have today. You may not have much. You may be watching this or listening to this while you're at work or school or doing something you don't want to do. But man, I don't care if you got 10 minutes to yourself today. Whatever's going to make you happiest in that 10 minutes, do it. Maybe it's playing a video game. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's just laying on the floor with your eyes closed, just getting a few minutes to yourself of peace and quiet. Do it. Take advantage of it, because you just don't know how much of that time you got left. And every damn video I get all morbid and stuff. Like, I don't know what makes me be that way, but I guess it's because maybe that's what maybe I focus on it because, well, I focus on it. Like, I'm trying to always do my life in a way that's going to make me the maximum, as happy as I possibly can be. Like, nobody's happy all the time. Nobody. No, I'm not. Nobody is. I don't care if you're a naturally happy, optimistic person, you're not going to be happy all the time. It's impossible. But if you can live your life in such a way that allows you the opportunity to be happy as much as you can, that's a life well lived, man. And I look at my own life. I had a great childhood, but my adult life, I wasted so much of it. I done so stupid stuff, got myself in a lot of debt early on in my adult life. And it took so long to get out of that hole that I dug for myself. I wasted some of my best years working a job I hated, working a bunch of overtime to dig out of a hole that I got in out of ignorance. I didn't know any better. You know, I was a kid growing up and going through school. Nobody taught you anything about the important. Like, yeah, you got an education. You learn how to read and how to write and basic math and stuff. And you took stupid-ass science classes that didn't matter. I don't remember a thing from science classes. I don't remember a thing from history classes. Like, a lot of it was just a total waste, right? But the important stuff, how to balance a budget, how not to get yourself in a ton of debt, how compound interest works. It's great when it works for you. It's crippling when it works against you. They don't teach you that. They didn't back in my day. And so you just make ignorant mistakes. It wasn't even so much, I mean, I call it dumb mistakes, but I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. I had a kid reach out to me recently. His name was Jackson. And I rarely ever check my messages. Like on Facebook, people can't even message me. I've got that on my Kayak Catfish page. The messenger feature is completely gone. On Instagram, everything goes into like a message request folder, and I never get in there. Because usually if I do go in there, I'm pissed off in 30 seconds. People just bitching me out and complaining and calling names and all. Like, I don't waste my time with that. So I rarely go in there, but I went in there a couple months back, and there was a kid in there. And, honestly, I don't know if he was in high school or college, but he was doing a project and he wanted to interview me for it. And his class, I forget what the class was called, personal finance competency, or personal finance literacy. He was taking a personal finance class, is what it was there. And he wanted to ask me some questions. And it was about, the questions were essentially about YouTube, running a YouTube business and stuff. But it was for that class. And so I, you know, again, I rarely ever check messages, but I saw that. It was like the first message that popped up on there. And I'm like, well, this is something, I'm going to try to help this kid out for his paper or project, whatever, because this is something that's actually going to benefit this kid. And I told him, I ended up, I thought it'd be quicker for him and quicker for me both if I just answered his questions in a video form versus handwriting everything out or typing everything out. So that's what I did. And it was, I don't know, 15-minute video where I spent on my porch just answering his questions. But I told him, I'm envious of him. One, for his youth. I wish I could be that young again. But two, I'm envious that he's taking that class at that age. Because my gosh, man, I look at my own life, how much different things could have been. Oh, there was a buffalo right there in front of us. It just come up. I was looking that way when he surfaced. But I look at my own life and how different things could have been if I didn't go $150,000 in debt by age 24. By getting, I mean, house, motorcycle, new truck, boat. I mean, you know, I had everything and financed it all. Like, and plus student loans on top of that, credit cards on top of that. Like, I mean, just stupid stuff, you know. But I didn't know. And so I told this kid, his name's Jackson. Shout out to Jackson. I told him, like, man, if your teacher's worth a damn. Now, I don't know if he was required to take this class or if he chose to take it. It was like part of his curriculum or voluntarily, whatever. But I'm like, man, if your teacher's worth a damn, this is going to be the best class you ever take in your life. You will get more out of this class than anything else in any I don't know what you're going to do, what kind of career field you're going to go into, but this class will do more for you than anything else. If you can just, I mean, forget about learning how to make money. Learn about how to not lose money. You know, like that's, I mean, because I told him, like, man, when I went to college, I got out of high school, I go to college, right? Because back in those days, I'm telling on my age here a little bit, but I mean, in those days, it was still in the time period where we were told, my generation was told growing up, like, you had to go to college. You had to. It's the only way you were going to amount to anything. You could not get you would not be a productive citizen in society if you did not have a college degree. Now, that was all lies. I think it was the institutions that were offering up the student loans that was selling those lies, but society bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And that's what we were told growing up. So I do what I'm told. I get out of high school, I go to college. Well, here's the problem with going to college. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to go to college. You know, my parents, hardworking people. My mom had multiple jobs most of my life. But, you know, I'm not some trust fund kid. Like, I didn't have a situation where I was going to just choose any college I wanted to go to and have it all bought and paid for. And I didn't have the smarts and the grades to get a scholarship. And I didn't qualify for any finance. My parents, you know, the cutoff for the financial aid was so low. Like, they worked hard, but I mean, they're not living an extravagant lifestyle, but they made too much money to get any kind of government assistance for me in college. So how are you going to pay for that? Well, I couldn't pay for it. My parents couldn't pay for it. The government wasn't going to pay for it for me. Well, what do? I got to get student loans. So now you're 18 years old. You're fresh out of high school. You've got no real skills. You don't have time to even work a full-time job if you're going to go to college full-time too. So you're working a part-time job and don't pay diddly poo. So you're forced to take on student loans. So you get those. you sign up for your classes. Well, now you got to get textbooks, right? You gotta go buy the textbooks for the classes you're going to be taking. Well, I don't think this is legal now. Seems like I had heard something a few years ago that this practice had been banned. But when I went to college, you go into the bookstore on campus there to get your textbooks, there would be a line of tables right outside the campus bookstore. You got Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Capital One. Man, they're all out there ready to sign you up for a credit card. 18 years old, you got a part-time job, no real money coming in, no way to pay a credit card bill, but they're willing to give you credit today. You can have a credit card right then and there to go in there to that campus bookstore and get your textbooks. And they'll even give you a free t-shirt before you go in. Just for signing up, they're going to give you a free gift, a free t-shirt. Man, so of course you're going to do it. Me and every other damn student is going to do it. We didn't have any money to buy the textbooks. So of course we're going to, you're going to give me a credit card? You mean I don't have to pay any money out of pocket today for all these books that I can't afford? And I'm going to get a free shirt? Hell yeah, sign me up. So we did. That's what we did. That's what we all did. Now fast forward 20 plus years, and my generation, we've got college degrees that are worthless. Now mine, I got a nursing degree. That has value. Nurses, you're always going to need nurses in the world. I don't care AI, the robots take over. You're always going to need nurses. That is a recession-proof job. But the other people in my generation, they done what they were told to do. They went to college. They got a degree. And it's worthless. They got a degree in some field that they were interested in, because all we were told growing up, they didn't say you had to get a degree in such and such field. It was just get a college degree. So people done it. And they financed the whole trip, the whole journey. 4+ years of college, all the textbooks, student housing if you needed it. You had to have food and a roof over your head and a vehicle to get there and all that while you were going to school. Financed it all. And they get out of school and they can't get a job. Or they can't get a job in their career field, or it don't pay as much as what they were promised. And now they're shackled. They're shackled for life with debt. And that was the case for me, man. It was the case for me for a long time. Now, fortunately, I was able to get out of it. Discipline, sacrifice, gave up my life for a few years. It took a car wreck to make it happen for me. I had a damn car wreck, crippled myself, broke my hip, pelvis, didn't think I was ever going to walk normal again. Was told I wasn't going to ever walk normal again. I was going to have a limp. I was going to need a hip replacement in a few years. And while I was injured, that's when all the bill collectors, they don't give a damn that you can't work. Because you financed your house. You financed your car. You financed that motorcycle. You financed the furniture in your house. All that. They want their money. They don't give a damn whether you can pay it. Like, you made an obligation that you were going to pay this money back with the interest. They want it, and they want it every month. That changed me. That changed my mindset going through all that. So fortunately, when I recovered and made a full recovery, still to this day, I've never needed the hip replacement. I'm the bionic man from the waist down. I'm metal. But by God, I've never needed a hip replacement. Never got arthritis in the joint. Can't tell you when it's going to rain. Like, made a full recovery. Very fortunate for that. But when I got healed up, I was done with debt. I sold off everything I could to put toward my debt. And when I was able to work again, and I actually took on more debt in the beginning because I went to school, didn't have a clue what the hell I wanted to do in college, just spinning my wheels. finally decided, okay, I'll go be a nurse because it's the most amount of money for least amount of education. I mean, there's not too many jobs in East Tennessee where you can get a 2-year degree and make that kind of money. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. Well, I didn't have the grades to get into nursing program. I couldn't get in. C students don't get into nursing programs in that competitive environment. So I had to go to LPN school, which I could get into. Vocational school, technical school, which is what I should have done from the beginning. And that's what I'd recommend any of you do. If you don't have a clue what you want to do, college ain't the place to figure that out. Go learn a trade. Go to a vocational school. It was frowned upon when I got out of high school. You were considered less of a person if you went there. But those people now are the real success stories because they learned a skill that had value. They learned how to weld or how to be a plumber or an HVAC technician or a carpenter, something that has tangible skills that's associated with a financial value. They can sell those skills to other people, and they got an education on how to do those things at a reasonable price through a vocational school. They were the smartest ones of us all. The dummies like me got sold on having to go to college to get a degree, and so I go to college, spinning my wheels there for a couple years, and just not knowing what I want to do, finally figure out, like, okay, I'm gonna be a nurse. Well, then I can't get in. So then I go to the vocational school, come out, I'm working in that a few years, and then that's when I get hurt. And so then I got to go back to school, because as an LPN, let's face it, they ain't a lot of desk jobs. And if I didn't know if I was ever gonna walk normal again. I was going to have chronic pains. What I was told from, you know, the way my hip was broke, the hole that got knocked through my actual hip bone, the acetabulum. I've told that story before, but like most of the time, if you hear somebody's got a broken hip, if your grandma falls and breaks her hip, she usually don't break her hip. She breaks the head of the femur. Your leg bone, the femur, you've got the head of it that kind of sits in the hip joint, right? In the ball of the hip right there. This part here, the head of that femur gets broke, and they call it a broken hip, but it's actually a broken femur. In my case, being young and healthy and the way the car wreck was, the head of my femur was strong enough that this didn't break. It knocked a hole through the acetabulum, which is the hip bone, knocked a hole in it. So this, what the doctors were saying at the time, that my head of my femur wasn't ever going to sit normal in there again. And that bone-on-bone friction there was going to cause the joint to break down, arthritis to develop. I was going to have the limp and all that. Now, fortunately, they put some screws, put the bone back in place, and you know, I've got a plate in my pelvis, so I broke it in numerous places. But like, I walk normal now, man. Once I got through the rehab process and the bones healed, like I was back to, I bounced back. Now I'm completely normal. But once I did that, you know, coming out of that, I was like, well, gosh, man, if I do need a hip replacement in a few years, and if I can't get around easy, there's not a lot of desk jobs for LPNs. I need to go back to school to be an RN. And even though my grades weren't great in college, as an LPN, you kind of get pushed to the front of the class as far as getting into nursing programs, because they want to boost their graduation rates, and you've already proved at that point that you can get through LPN school. And honestly, for any of y'all out there that may be listening and thinking about going to nursing school, I'll tell you, I think LPN school was harder than when I went. Maybe it's because I already had a base foundation of knowledge, but I thought LPN school was way harder than when I went back to college to be an RN. But anyway, I take on more debt to go back to school once I got into a nursing program. And, you know, so bottom line was I was able to get out of the mistakes I made. But it took a long time to do it, and a lot of overtime and a lot of sacrifice that could have been avoided if I had taken a class like Jackson did. And so I answered all Jackson's questions there, and hopefully he's going to get something out of that class. But it's like, what a different world we would be in if people weren't in debt. I mean, most of the country right now, most of the people, many of you all out there listening or watching this right now, you're probably in debt at this moment. And that debt is preventing you from having your freedom, from having the life that you want. Because here's what happens. You take on this debt, and this is how it was before I had the car wreck and got hurt. Here was my life. I had it all. I had a house. I had a motorcycle. I had the fancy truck, man. I got the boat. I got all this crap in my house that I've financed to the guild. And I have no time to use any of it because I'm working a job that I have to work, that I don't like, but I have to do it because I'm stuck there. I can't take a pay cut to go somewhere else because it takes every penny I make just to survive the week. I'm paycheck to paycheck just to survive. And so when you've been at a job a little while and you've got some raises, promotions, whatever, you can't quit to go to some other job, even if it's in the same career field, because you're going to have to take a pay cut to do it. And that's where they get you, man. That's where they take your freedom. You get in debt, we get marketed to, we get lied to, we get manipulated, we take on this debt, and then we get trapped trying to pay off that debt. And if you don't have that burden, if you don't have that hanging over you, then you have the flexibility and freedom to be like, well, you know what, I don't like this job. Or maybe I made a mistake choosing this career field. I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought, or there's not as many job opportunities here as what I thought there would be. I'm going to go do something else. And you can take a pay cut or take a job, a part-time job outside of the career field making virtually nothing while you go back to a trade school or college or whatever to pursue whatever the next goal you have is. You have the freedom to do that when you're not shackled in debt. And that's where they've got us at, man. That's where it all went wrong. Really, in society across the board, it's like, I don't know when it happened, but debt didn't used to be a thing. It is now. Now, I mean, the statistics, the numbers, most of Americans are in debt now. But it wasn't always the case. Whenever that happened, though, like that was by the people up top. If you want to get conspiracy theory, put your tinfoil hats on. The people at the top, man, when they figured out the way to control us was to keep us in debt, that changed everything. That changed society, man. And so my hope for Jackson and any other young people out there that may be listening to this, avoid it. Avoid debt like the plague, man. If you can, the longer you can stay out of it, the better you're going to be. And if you're 18 years old, hell, maybe you might be 25, 30 years old. If you don't know what you want to do, don't take on a bunch of debt to figure it out. And let's face it, most kids coming out of high school, I didn't have a clue I didn't know jack shit about jack shit when I was 18 years old. I still don't, for the most part, but especially back then, I didn't know what I wanted to do the rest of my life. And going to college, I mean, you're taking on debt to what? To figure out what you want to do? College ain't going to teach you that. You need to get out and live. You need to get out in the real world. I would tell people, man, like if you're an 18-year-old kid and you don't know what you want to do, just go get a job. Go get a job out of, don't go to school right out of high school. Go get a job. Go join the rat race. Do that for a year. Now, after that year of working a bad job for low pay, you may still not know what you want to do. That's not necessarily going to help you figure out what you want to do with your life. But I can promise you this, you will learn very quickly what you don't want to do, how you don't want your life to be. And there's value in that. there is huge value in figuring out, like, this sucks. I don't want to live this way. I don't want to have to do this the rest of my life. There's value in that. And maybe then you figure out and like, okay, even if I have to do a job I don't want to do, what do I have the smarts or the skills to do that's going to pay me the most amount of money so that I can either get out of it quickly or spend as little time as possible doing it? Because let's face it, if you've got a job, let's say you've got a skill, something you can create a business around. Maybe you're real good with your hands. You're a carpenter, right? You've got carpentry skills, but you hate it. You don't like doing it, but you're good at it. You've got a natural aptitude for it. Well, if you're your own boss and you haven't taken on a ton of debt, well, maybe you just do what you don't want to do on a part-time basis. You pick and choose your jobs that you're going to take, that you're going to dislike the least, and you go make your money, you make your bread, and you take some time off. Then you go make some more bread, and you take some more time off. You've got the freedom, even though you're going to be doing something in that situation that you don't necessarily want to do or you don't like to do, you're not forced to do it all the time. Like you are if you take on a ton of debt, you go to college 4+ years and you've taken on $50,000, $100,000 in debt, and now you come out, those student loan payments hit, plus you got real life stuff you got to pay for, food, housing, insurance, vehicle, etc. Well, now whatever job you take that you're going to hate, guess what? You're stuck. You have to go to work. You have to do it because you got to pay them bills. They're going to take everything you got. And then your credit's going to be ruined, and you're going to have a hard time rebuilding from there. All avoided it, all easily avoidable with just a little bit of education that we don't get in school. That should be the thing they teach us all, man. From the time middle school up, when we're old enough to understand it, we should be taking a class every year that's going to teach us about money, how to manage it, how to balance a budget, how to avoid debt. I got none of that when I was in school. It wasn't like I just avoided taking the class. It was never an option. I had to self-educate myself about money. And I didn't do that until I was just so far in debt, I was just miserable. And a coworker, a friend of mine, gave me that Dave Ramsey book. There was a fish jumping right there beside us. Put me on the Dave Ramsey book, Total Money Makeover. You got to live like nobody else, so later on you can live like nobody else. I followed it. I followed all the baby steps. I got out. A lot of people talk shit about Dave Ramsey. He got me out of debt. That book saved my life. It changed my life. You know, and now my life's better for it. Now I have freedom. Now I have options. I didn't have those once upon a time. A lot of you out there watching and listening to this right now, you don't have that option because of your debt. It's not that you're a stupid person. You're not dumb. We just weren't taught. We weren't taught what we needed, the real education we needed, we didn't get. And so, you know, you might be in a hole, big time hole right now. You might be, but you can get out. It won't be easy, it won't be fun, but it's doable. Number one, stop digging. If you're in a hole, don't dig it any deeper, stop. Take some short-term sacrifices. I promise you, if you can get out and you can get your freedom back, have options again, your life is going to be vastly different, so much better. I keep going back to, man, the more time you can spend doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, the better your life's going to be. And what I don't mean by that, I don't mean like, I'm not talking about like traveling the world and staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Like maybe, I mean, sure, that would be fun. Yeah, sure, I'd love to fly to Fiji today and stay at the Ritz-Carlton and have beautiful women on the beach serving me whatever the hell they serve on the beaches. That'd be awesome. But I don't need that to be happy. I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. It'd be great, it'd be fun. I don't need that though. I don't need that to be happy. No, I'm content sitting out here in the middle of a creek not catching fish right now today. And I'm able to do this, and I'm fortunate to be able to do this as a job right now, but I'm able to do this, and I got to a point where I was able to turn YouTube into a job. Why? Because I had more time to pursue it, because I wasn't in debt. I was able to take more time off work and have that time to do what I wanted to do, which in my case was go fishing. And I just happened to be filming while I was fishing, and it turned into this crap. But that opportunity would have never presented itself. I wouldn't be here filming this video today had I not gotten myself out of debt, because I'd still be paycheck to paycheck, never getting ahead. Because once you get in a debt, once you get into that rut, it's hard to get out of it. It's easy to take on more debt. It's hard to get out of it. You get trapped. So if you're young and you happen to be watching or listening to this, the easiest way to get out of the trap is to never get in the trap to begin with. So I hope that Jackson, I hope he gets something of value out of that class. Again, if his teacher's worth a damn, then the teacher is educating them on how to avoid everything I've laid out here in front of you in this last rant here. But it seems to be getting worse, honestly. I mean, even though this class is available, at least in his school, I don't know that it's that widespread, and I don't know if there's as big an emphasis put on it as there should have been, even with the school programs that have it. And hell, who the hell knows? I mean, I'm talking now from the standpoint of knowing what I know and going through my own life experience. Could that message have gotten through to me at 18 years old? I don't know. Maybe it couldn't have. Maybe I had to go through what I went through to reach that breaking point. Maybe I had to have that. Looking back at it now, that car wreck's the best thing that ever happened to me. That's crazy. That's crazy to think of it like that, because it sure as hell didn't seem like it at the time. That was the most pain I've ever been through. It was the worst, even aside from the physical part of it, just the mental part of it, the emotional part of it. Losing my independence, my dignity, thinking I wasn't ever going to be normal again, going from being 25, young, independent, invincible, to having my mom having to wipe my ass for me because I couldn't physically do it. Like, that was the worst time of my life then. But now, here I am, age 44, and looking back on it in hindsight, like, that was the moment for me. That car wreck changed my life. It put me on a different path that has led me to where I am today. And now life is great. Now, I mean, these last few years for me have been some of the best years of my life. And I would have never experienced it if I hadn't have ever gotten out of that debt. And had I not had that car wreck, I probably wouldn't have. I would have continued on paycheck to paycheck, being miserable and buying, or not really buying, financing more stuff to try to make me happy, but it wouldn't have made me happy. It would have just got me further in debt, which would have led to more misery. But that's what we do, right? We try to buy our happiness instead of just living it. Your best, happiest days are going to come from living, not from buying, not from purchasing. You can purchase nice experiences. You can purchase things that you're going to enjoy. But the true happiness comes from having the time and freedom to do those things. Yes, you can buy a nice kayak that you'll have a great experience with out on the water. But if you don't have time to take it out on the water, what good is it? You can buy a nice vacation somewhere, go somewhere exotic and have a grand old time. But if you've got to work the other 51 weeks a year to pay for it, is it worth it? Like you know, it's just, but that's where we are. That's the new culture today. That's where we're at in society. And again, I don't think credit card companies now are allowed to market in front of a college campus bookstore. Like I think they've done away with that. I could be wrong. I think they've done away with it. But even still, we're still marketed to all the time. And it's so easy to get in debt. And especially when you're young, because you don't have anything. You're fresh out of high school. There's a bunch of stuff you want. You've got, everything's new and exciting in the world. There's so much you want to experience and do, and it all costs money. And you don't have any, and you don't have any real good way of getting it. But here's this credit card. They're gonna give it to you. You can just pay it back whenever. And you can have all these things now. It's so intoxicating, it's so appealing, people do it. And then you're hooked. You're hooked right from the get-go. As soon as you start your adult life, you got somebody that's got a thumb on you, they own you, they've got you. So it fires me up, man. It pisses me off that it's like this. And you know, hopefully classes like this Jackson is taking, man, hopefully it'll help him avoid the mistakes I made and his classmates avoid. And maybe at some point, if you get enough people like Jackson that gets educated about how the world really works at a young age, maybe they can change it. If nothing else, maybe if they're able to avoid the mistakes that me and a lot of you have made, then they can teach their kids to avoid those same mistakes, and over time the culture changes. But that day ain't today, and it ain't tomorrow, and it ain't in the next few years. So things probably gonna get worse before they get better. I mean, hell, look at our damn government. The government's the same way. Government's a prime example. I mean, how many gazillions of dollars is the government in debt right now? And they just keep, every time they approve a budget, they go further in debt. Like, that's our leadership, allegedly. That's our leadership setting that example. So, man, I've ranted about this too long. Y'all don't give a crap about it. You tuned in to see a fishing video. Here I am giving bad life advice here. Let's reel in these baits right quick. We're gonna spruce everything up. It's been a minute since we got a bite, and that sun, well, hell, we're missing a worm on this. The sun has started to pop out. It's gonna get, something jumped right here in front of us, buddy. Oh, look, our line, hold on, folks. Boy, our line here on our other rod is going completely slack. Have we got a fish on here? Nope, we don't. It just, for some reason, went completely slack. We're gonna spruce that up too. Let me get this other one baited. Probably need to reel in our shad, see if it's still on there as well. That sun's gonna pop out and make everything miserably hot though. We're gonna fish here another hour or so probably though. I'm gonna see if some more fish work through. I feel like we had some fish kind of starting to come through. We were getting them cats and got that buffalo there, and then now it's kind of, the bite's kind of fizzled out. Well, I've been on my, that's the problem, not catching fish. I get too deep into the rants, trying to change people's lives here. That's what we're trying to do on this channel, folks. We ain't trying to catch fish. We're trying to we're trying to change society, trying to put these credit card companies out of business. Now, listen, I still got a credit card. Now, I don't carry a balance. I'm their worst customer because I pay off the balance every month. I put everything I can on that card, everything I normally buy. I put it on the card and I collect those points. The 2% cash back, and then I just let that build. I got like $1,500, I think, right now. And cash back I can turn in. I'm just letting it build because I'm their worst customer. Now I try to stick it to them. I take money from them instead of them taking money from me. We're gonna get baited up here, and y'all are tired of hearing about it, but I'm about to tell you one more way that we used to get marketed to that we don't anymore, and I'm actually pissed off that this marketing strategy got shut down, that they don't do it anymore. We're gonna touch on that while we're on the topic of it, by God. Let me get baited up here again first, though. We gotta get some stuff done. We got important work here to do. We're trying to catch some fish first and foremost. Before changing the world, we got to catch some fish. Today has not been a lights out trip for numbers or size just yet, but all that can change with one big takedown that could happen at any given time. But we got to have baits out there to make it a possibility. Ooh, I about threw that one up on the shore. That one got away from me. I'm so fired up. I cast that one a little harder, didn't I? Okay. Let's set this back out of the way. Get some of these shad here. It's been baking in the heat. How far did we lose our shad off here? We've been sitting here with a bare hook. Hell, we have. That'll do it. That's why we wasn't catching nothing on that. Probably a turtle or something. Tell you what, let's go for it here, buddy. Let's put our that's a big old gizzard right there, man. Let's put that head on there. See what we can do with it. I'd kind of thought maybe I'd take it with me, use it tomorrow, but with me not bringing a cooler, it probably ain't gonna be no good. By the time I leave here today, get more, throw the cast net, get some more shad on the way back, like that thing will be roasted in the sun, especially if the sun continues to be out here a little bit. It's still kind of cloudy, but the sun is peeking through enough to make it miserable hot pretty quick right now, so. All right, there we go. We got all that mess done. Everything's rebaited here. We're back in the game. But yeah, let me tell you one more thing. This pisses me off too, but in a different kind of way. So, and it involves marketing, companies taking advantage, getting money out of people, but it was in a more enjoyable way. Ain't that something? Man, you market to people in such a way that's enjoyable, and they actually get something that they want, and it doesn't cost much money. They shut that down, but the stuff that really puts people in debt and shackles them for the rest of their life, they perfectly fine allowing that to go on. Funny how it works. But anyway, as a kid, when I grew up in the 80s, my childhood consisted of toys. Like I was a kind of an introverted kid, right? Like I didn't, even as a kid, I wasn't social. Like that's not new to me, being antisocial. I've always been kind of a keep to myself kind of kid. And I loved action figures. I've talked about my midlife crisis I've been going through on a lot of these videos, or I've been buying wrestling figures the last couple years. Man, I've just been reliving my childhood again, but as a kid, I liked action figures. And I mean, and I've had just about all of them when I was a kid, man. I remember early on, very early in life, it was He-Man, then Thundercats, and G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, wrestling figures, Silverhawks, Ghostbusters, I mean, you name it. And when I was a kid, toy companies would market to us. You would watch a cartoon, and during the commercial breaks, there would be advertisements for the toys, the action figures from said cartoon. And the whole purpose of making the cartoon was not for entertainment purposes, it was to sell toys. Like, that was the whole reason for making the cartoon, was just so they could sell the toys that went along with it. And they eventually got away from that. Sorry, y'all, the pollen's got me choked up here. I'm snotting something terrible. Let me get me a swig of water right fast before I go on this here. I try not to drink on these videos because I don't want you all having to hear me slurp and swaller on the microphone, but we've reached that point in the day, and between the snot and just the allergies I keep all spring and summer long living here in East Tennessee, we're at that point in the day. But back in those days, companies would make a cartoon specifically to sell He-Man action figures, or Ghostbuster action figures, or G.I. Joes, whatever. Everything was designed to make the toys and then figure out how can we best sell them. Make a cartoon, make these adventures, make these comic books, etc., etc. And life was great, man. Man, as a kid, you had new toys coming out all the time. You go to Walmart or Toys R Us or Children's Palace, and it would just be aisles and aisles of all the newest, greatest action figures. Well, now they can't really do that anymore. You can't market to children anymore. At least you're not supposed to. Government politicians and stuff, they've enacted stuff. YouTube got in trouble for it several years ago for marketing to children. They got in a lot of trouble, had to pay some fines, I believe, if memory serves me, and whatnot. And you can't do that anymore. So well, now you go down to the toy department, it's just regurgitated stuff. It's toy companies, the few that are left, are just marketing to people my age, adults that are nostalgic, longing for their childhood. These kids today, they're not getting action figures and toys made for them anymore. Like, they're not being marketed to, so they don't know that they want those things. They're not being sold on those things, so they don't make them anymore. And it's a damn shame. I mean, are you telling me that kids today are living a better childhood than I did in the 80s with my action figures? Their video games? I mean, look, you can make the argument, like, look, yeah, Justin, you know, you had these action figures as a kid. G.I. Joes back then were like $2. A He-Man or a Thundercat, Ninja Turtle, about $5. Wrestling figure, $5. And of course, you'd have a bunch of them, of course. So, I mean, there was money that was spent on toys back then, but there's still money spent on toys with kids today. It's just more expensive stuff. It's video games, iPads, crap like that. So, I mean, money's getting spent either way. But are you telling me that kids today, man, when I was a kid, I had to use imagination. I had to go outside. I'd take my G.I. Joes outside. I'd build a fort with them. We'd have battles. Kids today don't leave the house. They sit inside playing video games all day. They're stagnant. They're sitting there eating potato chips and cookies while they play. They're like me at night when I'm sitting there playing Mario Kart now. I'm like a kid today. I just sit there on my fat ass eating cookies after dinner while I sit there and play Mario Kart. But that's what these kids are doing. They're living this sedentary lifestyle right from an early age. And when I was a kid, man, you went outside. Even if you were playing with toys, yeah, I'd play with them indoors in the winter when it's cold. But I'd go outside and play with them, man. You go out there and get some rocks and some sticks and you build forts with your G.I. Joes and that's what I done. But it was a different world back then. I was being marketed to. I would watch a cartoon. I can specifically remember when Silverhawks came out. You remember the Silverhawks? It was a short run with the Silverhawks. They didn't last long. Some of you may not even remember them. But I can specifically remember watching the cartoon, and then in every commercial break, I looked more forward to the commercials than I did the cartoon, because that's when I was going to see the new toys that I couldn't wait to get. And now, kids today don't even know what that's like. They don't even buy action figures. Every time I go to the toy department now looking for my wrestling figures, all I see is adults. I don't see kids anymore. What a damn shame. And they change it where you can't market to kids anymore. Look, I get it. I get it to an extent. Like you don't want to put kids in a bad situation, or you definitely don't want to try to get them in debt or anything. What happened here? Our back rod get hit? Something moved the kayak. I think that back rod might have got hit, but ain't nothing on it. Push these power poles down again too here. But I just don't think it's terrible if a toy company out there comes up with an idea like with Ninja Turtles, but let's just use Ninja Turtles as an example. Like, is it so bad that you create a cartoon that's enjoyable to watch, where kids are going to get some valuable life lessons of some sort? G.I. Joe, you always learned a valuable lesson at the end of the episode, didn't you? You always got something that was going to make you a better kid or a better person at the end of a G.I. Joe episode. There was always something to the storyline. And then in the commercials, you're going to see those G.I. Joes or Ninja Turtles or whatever that you're seeing in the cartoon. You're going to see the action figures that you can go buy at your local Toys R Us, Walmart, Children's Palace, KB Toys, whatever, right? Was that so bad? I mean, really, was it so bad? I mean, maybe it would be today when they want to charge $25 a figure. But back then, when it was $2 to get a G.I. Joe or $5 for a Ninja Turtle, was it so bad that kids see commercials with the toys in there? I don't think it was. I mean, I had a great childhood. I wish I could have the knowledge I have now and be 20 years younger. But I don't wish that I could be a child in today's day and time. Like, I'm glad I grew up as a kid when I did, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, again, part of me would love, if I could go back in time knowing what I know now and have my last 20 years back, holy cow, I'd be so much better off now, knowing what I know now. We all would. It comes with life experience. Hindsight, they call it, 20/20. Perfect vision. But I wouldn't trade my childhood. I wouldn't go back in time being a kid in the 80s and trade that for being a kid nowadays. Like that wouldn't be, no, that's not a good trade. I would rather be marketed to as a kid and have a new G.I. Joes coming out every few months. I mean, now, I mean, there is some marketing with toys now, but it's toward adults. And can't even get those. Hell, I can't even find, I collect them WWE Superstars figures. Series 18 is allegedly out right now. None of my local Walmarts have got Series 16 in yet. We're 3 series behind. Can't even get them. It's crazy. Wasn't like that back in the day. Oh, no, he dropped it. No, he didn't. Our line's swimming. He just come back this way. Look at our line. It's swimming right there. Boy, he's a hitting and a getting it, buddy. He's headed up through there. He felt a little resistance and he turned and he dropped it. Well, diddly poo-poo. Boy, our shad head got chewed on there a little bit, didn't it? Look at that. Let's switch it out. They've ate all the good stuff out of it right there, folks. They've ruined it. I don't know if that was a fish or a turtle even. Could have been both right there. Could have been. That's the thing about using these bigger baits, is if you do have a small fish, they're going to sit there and just chew it to pieces and never get to hook. And when you're in a small creek like this, you're going to have more small fish than you are big fish for sure. I mean, we could have a big fish work through any time, but you're still going to have them small fish down there chewing, even if it's a big bait. Let's send this back out. Let's throw a big hunk right here out. Big hunk, that's what I am. Big hunk of a man. That's what I tell my wife anyway, how lucky she is to have a big hunk of a man like me. Well, it was exciting for a second. I wish that sun, it's burned through the clouds up there. It's sweltering hot. We're gonna give it maybe an hour here and we're gonna get the heck out of Dodge if that sun don't go behind the clouds, especially if we ain't catching no fish. We had that wave of fish come through, and now I feel like it's kind of petered out. I don't know if they moved on or we just caught them and that's that. This creek, I discussed this in yesterday's video. Well, it'd been, I filmed it yesterday. You probably saw it a few days ago, but this creek, it's narrow up here around this curve. It gets narrow and deeper. And you've got this stretch that's a little wider and shallow. And then up here around the next curve in the creek, it gets deeper and narrow again. So this area here is a good spawning location for carp because they can get up in this grass. This is the one section of this creek that's got all this grass. And that's what they're gonna spawn in. They're gonna drop their eggs in that grass right there. And I'll tell you this, I'm glad I came yesterday, because if we'd showed up today, we wouldn't have even known the carp had spawned. It happened so fast. We just missed it. We just missed the bulk of it, man. Like you've got a 2 or 3 day window and that's it. Our back line. Oh, our back line's swimming. I was like, what am I feeling here? There we go. Now we've caught up with him. We've got a carp. It's a carp, folks. He's in that other line too. Dadgummit. Oh, he swam circles around it. Yeah, we ain't getting out of that tangle, folks. It was bound to happen today. Let me tighten this line up. Let me see. Oh, I think he's still in it. Oh, here, let's at least go around this rod this way. If he wants to go that direction in the creek, he's gonna go. Oh no, are you doo-dooing me? Well, we got the tangle. We got the tangle free and we broke off. We broke our line. Dang, we finally had us a carp. Dadgummit. Well, poo-poo. All right, well, let's switch this thing out. Crap, broke us off, man. Broke us off clean right there too, midway on the leader. Well, poo-poo. Here I did, I was blaming you for losing another fish. It's just a dang break off. All right, I put a couple other carp rigs in here, so we've got some. Here, let me get my purse. I couldn't believe though, I was like, I'm gonna put all these damn catfish, instead of carrying it in my camera bag, I'm gonna carry it on the links since I've been in that kayak all the time. Then I get out yesterday and could have used the catfish rig and I ain't got them in my bag. All right, well, I keep these things, I tie up a bunch of these rigs and stuff in the winter. But here's a better look at these carp rigs. So here's what I do. I'll show you this here, for those of you that give a crap. So, you know, you get these feeders and there's various, these are just cheap knockoffs. There's various brands, they all work fine. But all you get is this, right? And I don't want this going way up my line and ending up a long ways from my hook. So I take a swivel, and I take a piece of braid, it's like 50-pound braid, just a small piece, and I put it through the feeder down to another swivel. So now when I cast this out, this is as far away as the feeder can get from my hook. And then on this end of the swivel, of course, you've got your hook, and these are pre-tied hair rigs there. I don't do this crap myself, with a couple pieces of corn. And so I do all this part at the house in the winter and have these made up. That way when I come out here today and we break off, we don't have to sit here and build out all of these components. We're just gonna tie one knot here on our main line, and we're, oh, our shad got hit. But now we can just tie one knot and we're done with it. We're ready to fish again. That's a big time saving. That helps me be more efficient when I'm out here on the water and something goes wrong like that, just fish breaking us off somehow. And I've been using them same rigs. I've been using them all year. So even though I ain't caught a bunch of carp this year, it's still a lot of casts, a lot of hitting stuff on bottom and stuff. So it was time. I'm pretty lazy about retying rigs. Okay, let's do what we do here. Let's rebait. We'll get us another worm. We're gonna cast back over. I feel like that one was a carp though. The way it was running, it definitely, it was fighting like a carp. I would have liked to have got it. It'd be nice to have to put our front camera mount back up today. Get us a worm on here too while we're at it. Some old Canadian night crawlers, not the American ones, Canadians. Nobody wants an American night crawler. Yeah, let's put a whole one on too while we're at it. Put that on, let's hook him again. These are some gangly old night crawlers, buddy. We didn't get the big thick ones. We got gypped. Somebody needs to feed these night crawlers. Okay, let's launch this thing. back over there. Perfect. Back in the rod holder, and now let's get all this crap out of the way again. All right. Let's reel this in too while we're at it. Let's make sure we still got bait on there. Since we got all wrapped up in the lie, yeah, it's on there. All on there, hook good. Okay. There we go. I felt my pole give. Let me put them back down. Every time I shift my weight in the kayak, it moves, and it moves these poles. It can work them in and out of this soft mud here. All right, everything back out again. Boy, it's getting hot, y'all. Miserable hot, man. That sun is burned through the clouds. On a positive note, at least if it's sunny, I can get thumbnails today. I didn't get a thumbnail for yesterday's video because it was too cloudy. Wasn't going to make for a good shot. So if that sun is still out when I leave today, I can get my thumbnail for yesterday's video and today. That's the kind of crap we talked about, doing stuff you don't want to do. That's one of them parts of this job as a YouTuber that I don't want to do. I don't want to have to do thumbnails. I don't want to have to do titles. I don't want to have to do video editing. I just want to go fishing. I was telling Jackson that, you know, one of his questions there. I can't remember what the question was that prompted my answer, but it was one of the misconceptions that people have about what I do as a fishing YouTuber here. One of the things I hear if I meet people out oftentimes, like, man, Justin, oh, we just got that bait cast back out and something's on it. Was on it. Y'all lost another one. It was a small fish. It wasn't gonna be able to get the bait and the hook. Let's send it back over there though. Okay. But one of the things I've heard a lot, I've met people out or whatever, and I was like, man, Justin, you are so lucky. I wish I could get paid to go fishing. And I tell them all the same thing. I'm like, man, I wish I could get paid to go fishing too. Because that is a big misconception. Being a fishing YouTuber, I get to go fishing as part of the job. But I do not get paid to go fishing. I've never gotten paid. Not one time ever have I ever gotten paid to go fishing. Ever. Nobody's ever come up to me and said, Justin, here's a handful of cash. Just go fishing today. Go enjoy yourself. No, that ain't how it works. I get paid to make fishing content. I'm going to make this video today. I'm going to put it on YouTube. YouTube's going to put advertisements in there, commercials. Those commercials, YouTube makes money on. They split part of that with me. So, if I'm just out here today going fishing and not filming, I'm not going to make a dime. I'm not getting paid to go fishing. I'm getting paid to make fishing content. Now, again, I'm lucky, I'm fortunate in the fact that I get to go fishing while I'm doing what is going to provide a little income. But there's a misconception there. And, you know, there's stuff you got to do that you don't necessarily want to do. Thumbnails, titles, I suck at both of those. I've never been good at it. It's one of them things I do. Some days you're fishing places that you don't really want to burn on video, but you got to, because that's where the fish are at. That's where you're going to get bit. You know, I don't hold back either. Like I don't hold back on information. Like sometimes I'll get asked questions and stuff. They'll be like, hey, can you give me some tips or advice or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I can really, you know, if they say, oh, I've watched every one of your videos, but I was looking for some advice on this. I'm like, there's nothing I can tell you I ain't already told you if you've watched all the videos. Like, I don't hold anything back. There's no secret technique or tip or trick or anything that I'm doing off camera that you're not seeing on it. Like, I don't hold information like that back. But there are places that I have filmed videos that I specifically didn't publish because I don't want to burn the spot. Maybe there's some landmark right there and it'd be obvious where I'm at and everybody's going to show up. And then if everybody shows up fishing that spot, then I don't get to show up and fish there because there's too many people on or it's fished out. It ruins it. So that's one of the drawbacks of this, you know, that's one of the downsides of it. But I don't hold back anything. Like I'm forthcoming with information. But there's definitely a few misconceptions out there with doing this kind of thing, you know, like I've heard several of them. I remember one of the questions that Jackson had there for his project or his paper, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was something about like the happiest moment of your current job or best moment of your current job, or it was worded something along those lines. And I thought about it for a second and I was like, you know what I think was one of my happiest moments with doing this YouTube crap? At least since I've been doing it as a job. There was a time, and I don't remember exactly when it was, but there was a time when I come to the realization, hold on y'all, I'm snotting again. Let me get me a swig of water here. We haven't, daggone, this sun's making me sweat. I guess it's making my nose run too. Goodness gracious. That's a question for Claude or Chat GPT. How many gallons of snot do we swallow every year? It's probably more than we want to know. But anyway, there was a time a few years ago, I had an epiphany. I had a realization. It just came to me. Doing this YouTube crap as a job, I literally get paid while I sleep. I make money while I'm in bed sleeping every night. I mean, God's honest truth. Every morning I wake up, I have more money than when I went to bed the night before. Because that's how this system is set up. Like when I was working as a nurse, I only got paid when I was on the clock. I go to work, I clock in, I do my shift, I clock out and go home. When I clock out, I stop getting paid. Yeah, there's some side benefits. Maybe you earn a little PTO, vacation time, sick time, stuff like that that's accumulating, you know, whatever. But you ain't actually earning money at an hourly wage job unless you own the clock. Whereas with YouTube, every time my videos get watched, commercials are getting shown on them. And every time those commercials get shown, I get a little cut of that. So when I go to bed at night, some people are watching my videos while I'm asleep. Hell, it might be daytime on the other side of the world, but my videos, if they're getting played, they're getting views, they're making money. So every day I wake up, however many views I got overnight has put more dollars in my pocket. Like I literally get paid while I sleep. And that's one of the cool things about It would be cool if we could actually keep a fish hook. Maybe we will on this one. You think we will? I hope so. It's a cat. I felt him rolling around. You stay hooked up, kitty. It's been a long time since we've reeled in a fish. We spooked a few more too, because I see the dust plumes down there. I can see them in the sun. Get over here, kitty. Let's get a look at you. Eating that big hunk of shad. Still ain't got to look at him. He's right here beside us, but the water's so dang muddy, you just can't see him. Over here. That's another one, kind of skinny. Long and skinny. That's been the theme in this creek for 2 days. These fish are just malnourished, which is surprising with how much food is in here for them. I don't know how they could be skinny and have this much food available, but they are. Oh, another quick release. Well, perfect. At least we got to see that one. I didn't want to put hands on him anyway. I just wanted to see him. All right. Well, it's another. We're going to call that. We're going to say we caught that fish. Even though I never laid hands on him, we got him up. We got to look at him. I didn't want to get hands on him. He wasn't one I necessarily wanted a picture with or anything. That worked out perfect. Let's take one of these smaller shad. We're got the tail left of that big one left is all. So we'll just throw one of these smaller ones back out. All right. Yeah, that's the big difference. For me, doing this crap, like I'd always been an hourly wage employee before this YouTube stuff took off. So, I mean, I was always, you go to work, you get paid. You clock out, you stop getting paid. Now it's, you put in a day's work, quote unquote. I mean, you know, we're out here today, we're technically working out here. I use that term loosely. But, you know, I'm gonna film this video today, and I don't know how many views it'll get. It may do good, it may flop. Every video it's hit or miss. I've had videos that I thought were gonna be home runs and they were busts, and I've had videos I thought had no chance of getting any traction and they done well. You just never know. But this video, it's going to be on YouTube till YouTube eventually ends or shuts me down one, and every time it gets watched, it will continue to earn on those commercials. So it's the time we put in, however long we fish out here this morning, 3-4 hours, whatever, will continue to earn something every time it gets watched from now to, well, till it disappears off YouTube. That's one of the big differences in doing this. And I'm not recommending this kind of work or this kind of job to anybody. I mean, it's nice in some ways having security of a regular job. Of course, with all this AI crap, does anybody really have job security anymore? I don't know if you do or not. As a nurse, I always felt like I had job security. Like I could go anywhere in the country and get a job. Those skills travel, and I literally travel as a travel nurse. But I never had trouble finding work, ever. Times of economic prosperity, times of economic decline, like nurses are always going to be needed. And there's comfort in having that security of knowing like, okay, I'm scheduled 3 days this week. I've got 3 guaranteed days of pay. If I get hurt, I've got FMLA or whatever, you know, PTO time I can take, sick time I can take. Whereas with this YouTube crap, I can post a video every day. No guarantee it's going to get watched. If it don't get watched, you ain't going to make diddly poo. if I get back to the car today and slip at the boat ramp and break my ankle, well, tough luck, Justin. There ain't no sick time. They ain't no FMLA. You know, you just out. So there's pros and cons to both sides of it. But I do, one of the things I said there in Jackson's interview there, I said, man, what a happy time that was when I realized that I literally get paid while I sleep. That was pretty awesome. Not many jobs where that happens. I don't know how long this crap lasts, man. I never would have thought 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago even, I would have never thought it would have got this big or lasted this long. So at this point, man, I feel like I'm on house money. Because I thought I would have been out of business a long time ago. And every time I think this channel's dead, I find a way to resurrect it. Like it's been a hell of a ride on this, man. I don't know how many more trips around the sun we've got with this channel, but as I've said for so many years now, and we'll say it again now, as long as y'all keep watching, we'll keep doing it. Y'all quit watching, I'll do something else. I'll still fish, I just won't film it. That's the best way. The people that don't like me, the haters and stuff, instead of sending me nasty messages and stuff, just quit watching. That's the best way to get rid of me. When the views dry up, I'm gone. That's the best way. If you want me gone, you want rid of me, just stop watching. But they need to look at their life. They need to evaluate themselves. If me, a random nobody, saying something on a YouTube video triggers them to the point that it just ruins their day, like they need to evaluate things, because something ain't right in their life. Something's off. They're probably upset with themselves. They're probably shackled in debt and can't live the life they want to live. That's probably what it is. And they're just lashing out and being angry with anybody and everybody that they can, because they're really just angry at their situation. If you really, seriously, if we could do a psychological deep dive on a lot of these internet trolls, the people that just say nasty stuff and nasty things all the time, just angry, miserable people. Like if we could do a deep dive into their background, I bet you most of them we would find people that were just maybe good people, but they're just in bad situations and they don't know how to get out of it. I bet you that's a lot of it. They're not living the life that they want to live. And they're so bothered by that, and they don't know how to deal with it or how to get out of their situation, that they're just angry and miserable. And they take it out on everybody around them and random strangers on the internet. I've looked at some of these people. Like when I get something on Facebook and you can click on their profile and get a look at them, like, there's some stereotypes that come to life on there, man. Usually if somebody really hates my guts, they're age 55 to 75. And their wife has left them, their kids hate them. Like, you can learn all that based on their Facebook posts. They're very political because they've posted a bunch of political stuff on there. Like, there's a list of characteristics. I could almost, anytime somebody really lashes out on me, like there's a list of characteristics I can almost bet you money that they will have. It's very rare that you get somebody that's young and happy and energetic and full of life that's going to be that angry and miserable that they're going to lash out at you over something you said or done on some stupid ass YouTube video. It's just old cranky people. Life somewhere went wrong for them. probably the day they got into debt. And now they're going to take it out on everybody. And I just happened to be the whipping boy that day because they come across my video. We got something on my back line over here's jumped a few times. Something's been over there messing with it, still messing with it. We're just hoping it ain't a turtle. That's the one thing today that we ain't got. We've hooked carp, buffalo, blue cat, channel cat. We ain't hooked a turtle yet though, and I hope we don't. Especially a snapping turtle. I love turtles, but I don't want to hook them. Or my camera. I'm using this DJI camera today. It says the screen has overheated, but still, I hope the camera's still running. When GoPro overheats, it just shuts off. DJI will just shut the screen off and keep rolling. But that's how hot it's gotten. We're right here in direct sun. But you know what? Hell, we don't have to be in direct sun. Look right here. We brought this umbrella for rain. We'll just set this thing up like we on the beach. Yeah, I can feel the difference already. We got our poor man's bimini top. It's gonna be a pain in the ass when we hook a fish, which may be right now. Our back line here is completely slack. We got one on. Get rid of your umbrella here, folks. What a dumb idea that was. We got a fish on. It did feel much cooler though under the, oh no, you done lost him. It was small. I can't tell if that was a turtle or a small channel cat. We got rid of him either way. I don't think we wanted to reel that one in. As soon as we put up the dang umbrella though, that's when it happened. Put some more of this pack bait on here. We got plenty left today. We went through much. Here I was worried we might have a whole wave of carp up in here spawning and really burn through it fast. And we ain't hardly used any at all. We ain't seen the first spawning carp today. Nowhere. All right. Back out it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Okay. I think I will put the umbrella back up just to buy us a few degrees of cooler temperatures. Our shad right there, boy, they're baking in the sun. They're gonna be ruined. I was gonna replace them anyway. That's why I didn't bring no ice. Didn't want to spend money on the ice to get them. Speaking of turtles though, and toys, since we've talked about that, here's the next conundrum I'm in, y'all. So, those of you that have been with me a little while, you've heard my midlife crisis, man. I started, about 2 years ago, I started getting back into toys and action figures. And at first it was the G.I. Joe Classifieds, the 6-inch figures, and I had some quality problems with some of those. That kind of turned me off of them. I ended up selling those. But it's the WWE Superstars and the WWE LJN style figures. Those are my main two. I've gotten a few He-Man figures as well, but mostly just those. But here's the thing that's coming out, and I think they're coming out in July. I think it's next month. But it's going to be Ninja Turtles that are G.I. Joe characters. It's like a Ninja Turtle G.I. Joe crossover type thing. And, you know, I loved Ninja Turtles as a kid, but I have not had the slightest interest in them as an adult. Like, that was one of my main toys as a kid, but I just haven't gotten into them. Thankfully, haven't gotten into them as an adult. But these ones that are like G.I. Joe figures, they've piqued my attention. The Cobra Commander slash Master Shredder figure looks amazing. The Krang Destro figure, amazing. Like, and they're not going to be $25 either, like these other premium figures like the G.I. Joe Classifieds and stuff. Like, these are supposed to be like $14.99, $15.99, something like that. Which is still, I mean, come on, that's still outrageous. These things were $5 when I was a kid. Technology the way it is, they can make them even cheaper now than what they used to. So the fact that they're going to charge what they are, they're gouging us even still, even with inflation and all that. But I may have to have them. I have not pre-ordered them. I haven't done that. But I've looked at them online. And when I see them in the stores, that will be the final decision for me. Like, I want to see them in person and make a decision there. Because here's the thing. So, He-Man had the Thundercat crossover, where it was Thundercats as He-Man figures. And when those first got announced, I was like, oh my God, that's my childhood all over again, He-Man and Thundercats. And you know, I like that He-Man style of figure anyway. That's why I like the WWE Superstars figures so much, because they're like He-Man's figures. So I'm into those. So I'm like, I gotta have those Thundercats. Well, I see them in person, and I'm like, eh. I mean, the Mum-Ra figure, the Mum-Ra Skeletor, was amazing. That was probably the best looking figure. That's probably the best looking figure I've seen all year of any line. But I didn't get it because that was the only one of that line that I thought. I didn't think the Lion-O looked good, the Shatara, Tigra, Panthro. Like, I just wasn't. Once I saw them in person, I'm like, God, they just missed the mark somehow. They just missed it. The Mum-Ra was the only one I liked. I'm like, I can't just get Mum-Ra. So I didn't get it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like that with these Ninja Turtle G.I. Joe figures. Like, am I going to see them in person and be like, no, I'm going to pass? Because right now, I'm thinking I may have to kind of get them. I'm on the fence about it, but they're pretty cool. I love the concept. 8-year-old Justin would have been all about it. This, I would have had to have had all of this. So, since I'm going through my midlife crisis, reliving my childhood again here in my 40s, we'll see what happens with it. The biggest hindrance for me, honestly, from buying more figures is just space. I don't have a place for the figures I have. Like my office right now, if you walked into my office at the house, you wouldn't even know I was into fishing. Like, there's nothing. I've got like, I've got my YouTube, one of my YouTube Silver Play Button awards on my desk. I've got a picture of me and the sailfish I caught. And there's a couple of like cartoon drawings a fella had done for me that are hanging on the wall. That's the only thing fishing related in my office. Everything else is, I've got my desk there for my computer. I do the video editing and stuff, and it's action figures. It's my wrestling figures or He-Mans. Like that's my desk in there. That's my office space. So you wouldn't even know I was into fishing. I just don't have space for everything. I've got my office, it's a spare bedroom. It's a 10 by 10 room. So I have to be kind of selective on what I'm going to get. And when I made the decision to not get the G.I. Joe Classifieds anymore, and I love those figures, man. They look amazing. But the quality is just second-class garbage on a lot of them. I mean, you open them up out of the package, you spent $25 on a figure, and it won't even stand up because the joints are so loose on it. And it's like, screw that. So selling those off freed up some more space. But then I got into the LJN style of figures again. Those were the first wrestling figures I had as a kid, was the LJNs. And they recently come back out with those. And I held off. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to get them. And then my wife got me Series 1 for Christmas. And then she got me Series 2 for my birthday. And here we are. Now I've went down the LJN rabbit hole, and now I'm getting those figures too. And they take up a lot of space. I mean, those are 8-inch figures. So they take up more room than the Superstars figures, which are like the 5.5-inch He-Man style. So I'm tapped out on space. I don't really have room for these new Ninja Turtle G.I. Joes, but they're pretty cool. So I may have to have them. It's just tough to tell from the pictures. Like, are they going to be a Ninja Turtle body style, or are they going to be more G.I. Joe body style? I can't tell from the pictures. Like, if they're G.I. Joe classified style, I probably don't want to get them because of potential quality issues. But if they're more Ninja Turtle, I don't know. I don't know, y'all, but the midlife crisis continues. Here I am in my 40s buying daggone action figures and enjoying the hell out of it too. I had gotten to a point with Walmart where I was done with Walmart. I was getting my groceries at the Aldi, getting my bird seed at the Rural King, getting the pet food sent from Chewy.com. I had cut Walmart completely out of my life because I hated it. I hate going in there. But then once I got into the action figures again, specifically the WWE Superstars, they're a Walmart exclusive. So not only was I going to Walmart again, but I was going to multiple Walmarts looking for these figures because they're so poorly distributed. You got to go to a bunch of different Walmarts before you actually find any of them. And so now I'm back to Walmart again. And I made a big mistake in there the other day. I bought a watermelon. I walk in the door, and they got all these big cardboard bins of watermelons right there. And I'm like, well, I'd like to have me a watermelon. It's a little early in the year for it, but still, I'd like to have one. So I spent $7 on a watermelon. I get it home, I cut it open, it's awful. I had to throw the whole thing away. That's the kind of crap you get when you buy, well, that's what you get. When you buy your produce at Walmart, that's what you get. I know better, but I done it. It was an impulse buy. An impulse buy I wouldn't have done had I not been in Walmart looking for a wrestling figure. So, this is what you have to look for. You young people out there, this is what you have to look forward to. Midlife crisis. You're either going to relive your childhood and start buying toys again, or you're going to divorce your wife and buy a sports car. It's one of the two. There's no in between. Like, that's what you get in a midlife crisis. One of those two scenarios. Thankfully, I've went the toy route. It's much cheaper than buying a convertible and a new wife. And my wife too, she's gotten into toys again. I don't think my wife was real big into toys when she was a kid. Like, she had some dolls and stuff, but like, I don't think they were as big a part of her life as what they were mine when I was a kid. But she's still gotten into them now. And she got in, for a while she was into them Ladoobos. I'm getting the words messed up on it. I can't even remember what they're called. Them little doll things that was on TikTok. She got into them for a while, her and her friends did. And now she's kind of out of that, but now she's into Legos, which is far worse because they're more expensive and take up more space. Them little Labubu things were just little dolls about yay big. They didn't take up a lot of room. The Legos, now she's gotten pretty good at putting Legos together, so she's getting the big sets now. They take up all kinds of space. So she's kind of going through she's turning 40 this year. Like my wife, she's She's hanging on to her 30s by a thread. She'll be 40 in November, and I've told her, I said, honey, women go off a cliff at age 40. I've got her worried to death about it. I said, men age like cheese, like fine wine. We get better with age. Women, you hit your peak in your mid-20s and then off a cliff by the time age 40 rolls around. So I'm like, honey, that's what you got to look forward to. I give her hell about it. Oh, she's aging quite well. I give her hell about it, but we have fun giving each other a hard time, but she's aging quite well in the grand scheme of things. I see plenty of, every time I go to Walmart looking for them damn action figures, I see plenty of other girls her age that don't look anywhere near as good. I've told you before this, though, you want to see hot women? Go to Target, or Target, as some people call it. That's where the hot girls go. They don't go to Walmart. They for damn sure don't go to the Dollar Tree. They go to Target. That is hot girl center. You can't go to Target and not see hot women. I don't know what they buying in there, because everything's overpriced compared to Walmart. I have the LJN figures, they're Target exclusives. So you have to go to Target to get those. Beyond that, I don't know why anybody would buy anything at Target. The groceries are more expensive. The home goods stuff more expensive. I don't know what these women are buying, but all the hot girls all shop at Target. So any of you fellas out there, you single, you looking to mingle, maybe you go walk around Target. You might bump into a girl, maybe you could take her on a date. If you bump into a girl at Walmart, it's probably because she's so fat you can't get around her in the aisle. I'll catch hell for that, folks. Boy, the 3 people that's still listening and watching to this point in the video, 2 of them's offended after that. I'll get an Instagram message that I'll never see about it. But you know it's true. If you've been to Walmart, you know it's true. And if you'll start going to Target, you'll see what I'm talking about there too. I'll tell you folks, I'm about to lose hope we're going to catch another fish. I'd like to catch one and then probably call it quits. Maybe roll out of here. It's so damn hot, you need this umbrella, and I've wore boots today. I shouldn't have. I didn't want to get eat up with mosquitoes in this creek, which I thought we probably would around all this grass and stuff. I thought there's probably a lot of mosquito larvae around in this, so probably get eat up. But I really need my flip-flops today because it's just, my feet are baking down there. They ain't gonna smell like bacon when I take them out of this boot, so I'll tell you that. They ain't gonna stink. It'll be something awful. But I'm gonna roll out of here soon whether we catch a fish or not, and I'm gonna go throw the cast net a couple times, get us enough shad to fish tomorrow with. And then if the weather forecast holds, I'm gonna get knocked out after that. So tomorrow will be the last catfish trip for a minute. This damn rain, man, it's just such a weird year. You're in a drought, now it just won't quit raining. Now, I guarantee you, man, it's getting hot right now. All this humidity and baking in the sun here, we're gonna have some bad storms this afternoon. Our back line, hell, are we gonna get our fish here? Hold on, y'all, let me put this down just a second. Our back line here, something knocked slack in it. Do we have a fish swimming with it? Or did something just hit it? Hell, our line's all the way down here to the left. Where's he going? Oh, now our other line's going down. We got a double. We got a double. Hell, this line was slack. I didn't even see what was going on here. Let's get this. Oh, this one come off. Hell, he was all the way over here to the left, but the one on this rod's going down. Here, get this one out of the way, y'all. Get that out of the way. Now, let's get hold of this one. Boy, what are the odds? What are the odds? We've been sitting here, nothing going on, insulting fat women at Walmart, and 2 rods go down. These 2 fish, they got offended by what I said. They said, I'll show you, Justin. Listen here, it's probably a good thing that other one come off, honestly. Because he had come over here to the left, we'd have had them wrapped up and tangled up every which way. Yeah. All right. Listen here, he made such a run, it leads me to believe we got us a carp. But we'll see if we get him on up here. That other one though, man, I glanced back, saw that slack on our line. I'm like, where is he? He was all the way over here. He went all the way down and around us. If nothing else today, folks, we ain't had a lot of bites, but we've had some bites. And we ain't got many of any one species of fish, but we've gotten a little bit of everything. Actually, you know what? This might be a buffalo. I can't tell yet, but I got a glimpse of his back. It might be a buffalo. We're slowly getting him in here. I'm gonna tighten down just a little bit more on that drag. Yeah. No, that's a carp. I saw all that orange on his tail then. And buffalo will fool you sometimes. Sometimes they'll be like the one we hooked earlier and he just didn't fight at all. And other times they'll fight real hard. You just never know what you're gonna get with a buffalo. Yeah, okay, folks. Yes. All right. We ending the trip on a fish after all, buddy. Yes, this is perfect. We're gonna land this thing and we'll roll out of here afterwards. I may get a picture with this one, I don't know. It's gonna be a second before I do though, I'll tell you that. He ain't done, is he? He's mad at it. Get that energy out while you're still in the water, fish. We don't want you coming in here acting that way. He says he'll act however he damn well pleases and we ain't gonna have nothing to say about it. This fish got a bad attitude talking to me like that. Did you hear him? Come on, you get over here now, fish. I'm gonna put you in this net and we're gonna bring you in. Get over here. Get over here. I can't steer him in that net. Lord, hold on. Let me crank down a little bit more of the slack. There we go. Now we should be able to steer him in it. They do not like coming in that net. Got him. We got him. Whew, buddy, that's a pretty... Oh, no, he just come out of the... Oh, he's still in there. Hey, we still got him. That's the biggest fish of the day. Well, for the 1 or 2 of you still left watching, we got our big fish of the day at the very tail end of the trip. I guess this fish thought we had probably done left. It's gotten so hot out here, he said, hell, they ain't gonna be no fishermen left out here fishing today. It's safe to eat whatever's down there. And little did he know, by gosh, we're out here sweltering in the heat, waiting on him to bite. So, we're gonna get a picture with him. Let me get that hook out of you first. Woo! Boy, he can do some damage flopping around, y'all. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Fish number 2 of the double and the only one we landed, but what a way to end the trip today, y'all. Oh, he's wanting to flop. Go on. Get on. Get on out of here then. You want out of here that bad? All I wanted was a picture of you, fish. I'll fist pump that one, y'all. Yeah, we'll fist pump on the way out the door, but I do think I'll get out of here. Now that the clouds have moved out, it's sweltering hot. I've still got to do the thumbnails. I got to try to get a few shad for tomorrow, do some catfishing with. And then yeah, if tomorrow's trip goes well, that'll be the next video. You'll see a catfish drifting trip. If tomorrow's trip don't go well, and the last exclusively catfish trip I done before all the rain hit, I got skunked. I mean, completely, not a tap at the bait, skunked. So no guarantees, but yeah, there'll either be that trip or something, some other fishing trip on the next video. And I'll see you then. But thanks for coming with me today. We've had a hell of a time out here catching a little bit of everything. Not as much of anything as I wanted, but a little bit of everything. It's been that kind of trip. That's fishing, folks. That's why it don't get any better. I'll see you next time.